Hello, 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 hello. Thank you very much for tuning in for our pre-match build-up show. It's me and Spider. We're going to be building up the massive game yet again. The big games for Liverpool are coming thick and fast, regardless of how good or bad we are playing. We just got to soldier through them, hopefully get points here and there. But Spider, thank you very much for joining me, mate. His channel link is in the description, most importantly as well, mate, bro. How have you been keeping? Hope you've been
Good.
well.
All good. Yeah. Still, even with the game the other day, I was still enjoying the game. As much as we look kind of like a shadow of ourselves, I was enjoying some of the play that we were playing, and the fact that Arsenal are as on top of the league as they are, and they still barely beat us. And it took a dodgy decision to kind of beat us, one that shouldn't have gone their way, and another one that should have gone our way. So I don't know. It's all hope. Everybody's gone doom and gloom or whatever, but I don't think many other teams would have. Like Arsenal came out to play, and we after the first 20 minutes, we kept them very quiet for most of that first half. We were the better team in the second half of that first half, hence why we got back into it. And they just went on and had a couple of chances near throughout the end of the game. But I mean, I watch different games to some people, I suppose, sometimes, and I see different things on the pitch that other people don't. And there's a lot of doom and gloom going around. But for me, I just thought, look, losing Luis Diaz was a big thing in that game.
Massive.
It was massive in that game, and anyway. But look, I'm glad to be here.
No,
I'm already shooting off in the Arsenal game, but yeah, here we go.
yeah, no, thank you very much for joining me, mate. And thank you, most importantly, everyone that is tuning in on the post match, or obviously, if you're dropping in live as well, do get your comments in the comment section below. Yeah, it's the thing. We've got to look to the Champions League as probably one of the most positive things this season. We all know that the Premier League is done. Like, yeah, whatever happens, there's City. We clawed it back, and I know nothing's over till it's over, really, until the last kick of the season, really. But I think we've left all of us, every single lads around the world. We all said we wanted to win this season, like hit the ground running in reality, really, and really leave no stone unturned, really. And we started off in probably the worst style, really. And we'll start off, obviously, a team news as well. Joel Matip, as Spider alluded to, Luis Diaz is going to be out post the end of the World Cup as well. So looking like 2 months' time. And Colombia, I think they are in the World Cup, aren't they, Spider? Yeah, I think they are, chat as well. So let us know. I think they are in, so that's a massive miss for this nation as well, most importantly. And in terms of the Joel Matip being out for 2 months, not that him and Liverpool's defence have been covering themselves in a lot of glory, really, but I think it's a massive opportunity. Is your mic coming through the headphones, Dermot?
Oh no, it's probably because I took them off my head. It's coming into this microphone, I suppose. My bad. You hearing yourself?
Yeah, I'm all good. All good. No,
Okay.
Just sounds a bit tinny, but no, it's fine.
I'd say it's the
Oh yeah, chat. There we go. Yeah, I think you've gone off. Yeah, I'm gone. How you doing, Eamons, as well? Absolute bloody legends. Thank you very much for tuning in, mate, as well. As I said, looking to it for the positive, really. Yeah, I think your audio is coming through your headset there, mate. But chat, let us know in terms of starting 11. It will be a massive point in terms of who Liverpool do play. I think, as I said, Joel Matip is going to be out for the next 2 to 3 weeks. So, Ibu Canate, we see him come in the second half of that game, really. And we know how good Ibu can be. He was, I think, all of our favourite. He was man of the match for Liverpool in the final against Real Madrid. Such a young lad to come in with the composure and most importantly, the quality since that move last season anyway, in terms of getting into the squad. Yeah, all sorted now, mate. Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, but big up as well. Evening, chaps. There's a couple of new people as well, which is fantastic. And most importantly to every single one that does tune in. KVJ, evening, chaps. Thank you very much for dropping in, mate, as I said. And thank you to everyone that has dropped the comments as well. As I said, you don't need to agree with me. You can massively disagree with me. I'm not going to be one of those people that shoots down people's opinions if you don't.
I will. I'll do it for you.
Oh yeah, no, but
I'm joking about it.
So Spider absolutely disagrees with a lot of things I say, but I was very intrigued to see what everyone was saying off the back of the game against Arsenal, because I think all of us, when we spoke in the post-match, me, John, and Connor, really, there was a lot of emotion off the back of the Arsenal game, and it was quite understanding. We love Liverpool and every last ounce of our being. This football club means so much to so many millions of people around the world, and it was frustrating and it's annoying. And yes, off the back of it, when I had like about 48 hours to really sleep on it, I think we've been very fortunate, really, to bear witness to the last 3-4 years. Would you say, Spider, that we're just so used to winning football games?
Spoiled.
We're
spoiled.
We have been really spoiled, haven't we? Would you say?
We have, yeah. We've been totally spoiled, but so like I mean, I was expecting some sort of transition either this season or next season in some form, especially after the length of the season that we had last season. I was expecting something. You know, I thought that Ox would already be gone by now. Maybe Keita.
He's back.
Yeah,
Ox is back in full training.
Yeah. For you anyway. I can see the enthusiasm behind that. Yeah. Well, like, no, look, man, I was expecting some sort of transition or something. I still think there's a top 4 season there for us, no problem. You know, there was a stage going back. Let's go back to 2 seasons ago when shit hit the fan everywhere. You know, we lost our midfielders, we lost our centre backs, the whole lot. We were 20 points behind like second place. We were like 18 points behind third. We ended up taking third and coming within 4 points of second place. You know, I mean, and that's with no defenders and no midfielders and using 2 kids off the bench for the second half of the season. So if any team can pull back out of a bad spell, it's us in the league. I can guarantee that. Us or City. I don't think there's any other team that when they do have a bad spell won't go on a sporadic bad spell. So they'll have a bad spell, they'll come back for 3 or 4 games, and then they're gone again for 6 games, and then they're back. No other team like us or City, because I mean City had a terrible start. I think it was the worst start of the league in 10 years as well. I think it was last year or 2 years ago as well, and then they ended up coming back and winning the league. You know, it's just the way it is. You know, we're the only 2 teams that are capable of doing that in the league. And if we're going to do it, we'll do it in the second half of the season when most of the players are going to be now rested for the World Cup. Luis Diaz is going to be just in rehabilitation. That's almost like a rest to him. Mo Salah is not going to the World Cup. You know, if anything's going to spare us on for the second half of the season, it's going to be that. But like, yeah,
Trent's out for 2 weeks. I think 2-3 weeks as well. Which probably be a blessing in disguise.
Oh, didn't qualify.
Spot on there. I mean, I thought he didn't, but it was I'm telling off it. I think it was remember. So I think was it Connor? Yeah, actually, I'm gonna blame Connor. Connor, if you're watching, your fault. Pretty sure someone that I spoke to this week, I was like, I'm sure he didn't, because it was obviously Brazil and Argentina, rightly qualified, and was because there was a big, massive. I think Colombia played like a last game qualifier, didn't he? A couple of months ago, anyway, and it was Ecuador or something. And there's a lot of business going around in terms of the South American qualification, because when it was Ecuador, one of the teams that was qualified had fielded an ineligible player, really, that wasn't registered or something. So there's a lot of business to go, but that's good for us, then, Maymans. I thought he didn't, but it's good in terms of we're not putting him into the limelight, really, and we're allowing him to just sit at home, recover, get the medical team round us. KV said, I hope we get top 4, bro. Hopefully, mate. It's sad that both the Champions League, the qualification, the game tomorrow night, Spider, it's our trophy.
It is,
Ours and Real Madrid's and like AC Milan and Bayern Munich's teams that have all of them, like the teams that have got a historic feeling towards this trophy. It's going to take some doing to beat. I think whoever wins the Champions League this year has to beat Manchester City in whatever qualifying or round or whatnot. You need to get past City to win the Champions League this season, and Real Madrid. And I'm not writing off Real Madrid again.
Yeah, I mean, Real Madrid have pedigree in this. You know, we were writing them off ourselves last year, thinking we were the better team. We didn't turn up on the night. Only Ibu, I think, turned up on that night, if you want to say that anybody who's world class on the pitch in that final. Like the people have been saying it for the last few years about. I get it. Like, why City are so good, and I understand that people are saying for the last few years that City are the ones to beat to win the Champions League, and they've been beaten every time in it. But you know, if they do get to a final, you know, again, which they did against Chelsea. You know, you can't see past them winning it with the squad and the firepower that they have up front now. But in saying that, they still, you know, we've been saying a few years they had Aguero, we've been saying a few years they had Jesus. You know, now they've got Haaland, who's a bit of a different machine. He's a different machine. But they'll lose him, and they'll lose him for a few months. I can guarantee you that. And he'll be. Are they going to a World Cup, Norway? I think
no, he's resting, which is the scary thing about that.
Jesus.
He's sat at home resting. I've seen something on Twitter. I was speaking to one of the lads as well in the group chats.
Yeah,
that we had in the WhatsApp one, and we were saying, just imagine if it like there was a competition where you could parachute Erling Haaland in for half an hour. Any team can do it, but you only get 30 minutes of Erling Haaland throughout the whole of the tournament, and you get to sub him in parachute or something.
We get 2 goals in that time.
Make it more exciting anyway.
The legal, if there's more Erling Haaland's called the legal turn, it'll just go Americanized, won't it? Just where there's a draft happening at the end of the season, just to make sure that everybody gets a choice off one of the best players in the league, you know, or else it becomes too one-sided, and we don't want the Premier League turn into a farmers' league, really, with City, you know. So
We'll speak about obviously Mbappe as well. Me and Spider were alluding to this. We'll probably at the back end of the show as well. Everyone, let me know your thoughts on that story. And no, he's not coming to Liverpool because we can even barely afford his bloody flight from Paris to Liverpool at this rate, where we spend money. The lack of spending money, as we said. KV said 2 to 3 weeks, but 100% a blessing as well. For me, KV, I said it in terms of relation to Trent, mate. It's psychologically getting him out of the environment, really, in terms of obviously the playing style of the team, getting absolutely battered every single week. Do you think that help him, Spider, in terms of long term? For me personally, I've watched Trent, and I don't know how you use field chat. Let us know. Sometimes if you're in that type of environment in terms of a football pitch, you just need, regardless of how good or bad you are playing, taking at least a 2-3 week break. And I think if Ramsey wasn't injured over the last couple of weeks, I think we would have seen Trent used sparingly. I know we can't afford to drop him in certain games, but would you say?
Like he does. He was the one lad that needed a rest. Like fair dues to him coming and getting the free kick that he did last week. But like how's it going, Gar? And but like he is. We've been saying it for the last couple of months. He's the one player that probably needs a big rest within the team, just to kind of clear his head, or just to refresh him about going back on the pitch, because I think he's in a mindset now when he goes onto the pitch that he's expecting something to happen, and he's constantly, looking over his shoulder. But I think, look, big game, big test against City next week. It'll show how far we're after dropping off the radar in reality, let's say. But there's times where we've been at our best and City have trampled us, and there's times where we've been at our average and destroyed City. So that's a different game. It's like a derby now these days. You just can't tell what's going to happen in that game, really. I think Trent needs he does need a rest, and it's a shame that Ramsey's, I think it's like a growing injury.
No, I think he's back now.
He's back now, is it? Yeah. But it's a shame that he was gone for so while Trent was in such bad form, because he probably would have gotten some game time, along. Same with Simicast, with Robbo. The lads have run themselves ragged for years. I know Trent has put on a bit of muscle as well. I mean, he must be knackered. Like, his tendons must be, like, his muscle is growing and he's all well and good and he's still fit as a fiddle, but like just aerobically he must be knackered. So
him and Robinson's hamstrings must be like cheese strings at the end of the day, because the amount of minutes, like as you said, mates, those two, and probably even Fabinho to a certain extent. I think I don't know if you've seen it on social media chat. There was a little video going around in terms of just Fabinho clearing a ball and sheer panicking. And when you've got a player like Fabinho making mistakes like that, I think he's
been completely off the boil, isn't he?
Yeah, something's not right with him. And if we had the squad depth, then we could rotate, say, him, Trent, and Robinson, but we don't. We're very heavily reliant on playing X, Y, and Z, certain players, because if you don't play them, then we've got no chance of really winning a game of football. especially in the competition and the level. But big up chat as well. Get to everyone's comments as well. But how you doing, Daz? Thank you very much for dropping in, mate. Most importantly, hope you're well, fella, and every single one of you is having you've had a good day. Anyway, let us know what you've been up to. And as I said, really do appreciate you all tuning in tonight. Just a chilled, relaxed stream. Everyone not too mad. Big up Mark as well. Really going to be a hard next few games this time. This is the time to step up as well. And obviously Ibrox, the atmosphere, Spider. I feel this, and Charlotte, let us know your thoughts in terms of the atmosphere. Charlotte, let us know. I feel there's a play in the positive aspect for Liverpool's game, really. I think obviously playing at Anfield in the Champions League nights, yes, it will probably help Rangers in certain aspects, but I think this will really help Liverpool.
Yeah, I think so.
Knowing that they're going into a cold zone of atmosphere, that is to await in Ibrox.
Yeah, but I mean, the Rangers are going to come out and attack in front of their fans. You know, it's the same with Celtic. Their fans drive them on. They have to play attacking football at home. That's just the way they are. And I think it'll open them up for us, really. You know, if you know, I'd start Nunes now. We're going to have Jota. They're definitely going to start with no Diaz there. You know, Bobby will probably start. Salah will start. Nunes will start. Jota will start. Unless is he really going to go ahead and try and bring up the kids before the oh Jesus, Michael Oliver gave a penalty. Did he give a right penalty? Was it the right decision? Sorry, but I think
maybe what was it? Was it you have to let us know? I used to have the Champions League in the background, but actually I might put it on. Yeah, carry on, lad.
So look, I think it's just going to play into our hands a little bit, and Rangers might score tomorrow night just for the fact that they're at home. But it might be, after we're maybe about 2 or 3-0 up, I think, at that stage. I still, I'm not holding my head down from the Arsenal game the other day. There was things that we deserved in the game, and they didn't deserve the win. And we didn't deserve the win, probably going on.
Did you watch my meltdown? I'm hoping you watched my meltdown.
I didn't see it. No, yet, no.
When you go to bed tonight, lad.
I got steaming drunk on Sunday, so I was completely hungover for about 2 days.
At least you forgot it anyway.
Yeah. So look, Rangers tomorrow, it's a must win, just to kind of stay steady in the group, beat Ajax, and we're pretty much through then. And so for me, play the lads, play Nunes at the farm. He seems to be getting into good positions now. He needs to play every game for me going forward. He looked really sharp. He was one of the bright sparks against Arsenal. We need players playing him we need earlier balls to him, though, on the deck, not over the top all the time, just on the deck. He's not seeing enough of the ball coming to his feet when he's making lovely runs. So somebody needs to take that bend and pass it, and play him.
I've said, he's spot on there, mate. I said on the thumbnail, mate, I want him to kick on in a good way. Not that he's not been playing bad anyway, but he's playing really positive in terms of his game. Celtic game still 0-0, which is probably a good result for Celtic, who their man Rangers are wanting European football, mate. But you spot on there, mate. But PSG, typical English pen, will be here. We've got to do a referee night, haven't we?
Yeah,
where we just take the absolute mickey out of these.
Yeah.
Conference League referees. Saying that the Conference League referees will be much better. And Nkunku should have scored there.
They need to go third party on this VAR, to be honest with you. I think just like Hawkeye, they need to bring in a representative of the person that uses the technology to have a say with they have to learn the rules of the thing. They'll have to be similar to a referee, but have nothing to do with the referee's standards or their policies or whatever like that. He'll just have to call as he sees it on screen, and then maybe they go between themselves and the referee, and he'll explain to him why this is not, at least technically, so that he controls it and gives his opinion on it. But at the end of the day, you're still going to have the referee that's going to be calling it into the other referees here and that. Like, for me, I don't care how close that Gabriel was the other day to Jota.
That was
that was, not even their penalty was soft, but our penalty should have been a penalty. It wasn't like he was kicking it up and I hit him in the hand on the floor. His hand was up and Jota was looping it over him. That's a handball all day. So I don't know what the hell they were doing, but Michael Oliver didn't even look at the bloody camera. He just thought it was too close. You know,
Plus,
so
you just mentioning that has made me
yeah,
actually angry.
yeah,
In
I
itself.
know, I know. It's
I know
just
a couple of me
it's.
Man United mates to be made up as well.
And
Big
I,
up
and I, and
Maisie.
I
You
know
did
I know
well.
how good Oliver is in general. You know, Michael Oliver's been very good throughout his tenure. But I mean, that's his first big mistake for us, really, by not going and looking at that TV screen.
Yeah, oh, I should have brought out my iPad. I would have went down. It's like, hey, that's right. But yeah, but get to everyone's comments as well. Keep on getting them in, please, everyone, and get your starting 11s in, and obviously your thoughts, and obviously the Rangers game. Payment in 2012-13, we had 9 points at this stage and finished 7th. Top 4 is going to be a big ask this season. That's a great stat, that Eamons. It's great, but it's made me even more depressed that way. Even nice one, that.
But
It is. It's going
the
to be
only
mad
thing,
though.
the only thing I'd say about that game is that you're a much stronger Manchester United, you're a much stronger Chelsea, you're a much like you're a flying City at that stage. You know, you're an Arsenal that was still playing strong and winning cups. So like that's why it was going to be hard at that stage for us to get in there. But I don't see it. I don't see Chelsea. I can see Chelsea getting better a little bit under Potter, and I could probably see them probably taking one of the other spots. I think Spurs might miss out if we're going to go for, you know, well, it depends, you know. And I think United will miss out as well, to be honest with you, on the top 4. But we need to pull up our socks. If not, Spurs will take it. Yeah.
If we get let in to the top 4, it just it's a mockery. It's like even when Jürgen, as you said, mate, and chat you alluded to, that season where we finished like 3rd with like no centre halves.
Yeah.
I get the teams have improved. I'd love nothing more. Even if I'd much as want Liverpool, but if there was a team to beat us in the top 4, it'd be Brighton. Like, I'd be all for that, mate. If we see Brighton in Champions League, that would be absolutely fantastic. Nunes has to start every game. Gary, 100%. Christ, imagine if Nunes actually come into a winning side that was actually performing well. It'd be even doing more better early as well. But big up, Chloe, as well. Thank you for tuning in. She's an Arsenal fan. You mate, Chloe. And yeah, she was sending me a lot of messages, taking the piss out of the Reds anyway. So enjoy it. You'll probably still bottle the league anyway. There you go, love. But enjoy that. Thank you for tuning in. How you doing, Maisie? Hope you're well. Obviously, Manchester United supporter. Someone said before Trent's actually 29, he said Klopp's training age is you in dog years. I have to read that twice there though to go to that one. Spider, our counterplay has been on
Has to
form.
be.
Yeah,
has to be
really
big time.
I've seen notions of people of bringing up drafts of playing 5 at the back.
I don't want that.
I get we're playing shite, but if you put 5 defenders on a pitch, we're still going to concede within the first 59 seconds of a game. It was mad. Like we'll still concede, and we'll probably put 2 DMs in front of those back 5 as well.
That was the only strange decisions I seen the other day. Was like taking off Salah, taking off Jota when we needed to go, taking off at 3-2 down and needing to get goals and stuff. It was just a weird one for me. But look, that thing now has to be nipped in the butt with the 5 at the back, since Matip is now injured for the next couple of months. So there's no more talk of it. It just we're delighted that Kanate is back at the right time, but we seem to be just losing one to injury and getting one back, straight away. So look, if that gets us through the season, it gets us through the season. We can say like, we won't talk about the title or whatever like that, but just make it a good battle for top 4. It just means that there's more games around us now that are going to be more important, rather than just kind of beating everybody and then just seeing who beats us between City and that. So
yeah, he's spot on there. I've just seen that Jazz's comment. Saw a Rangers fan call Nunes a pub league player earlier.
Jesus
Christ, have you seen some of the strikers that play in the SPL? Christ, almighty. Probably all postmen as well. So
I would have screenshotted that and then showed him tomorrow night. Just him doing the 50 grand again.
Jazz, if you can find that, print screen it and then retweet him after the game, mate. When Darwin gets an hat-trick, hopefully, as long as he stays on the pitch. But how you doing? It was chaps. The cameras were working today. Oh, yes. You know what I'm like with technology chat anyway. All the refs are bad. Sunday leagues are rubbish. Half of them don't know the rules anyway. And half of the referees in Sunday league are all pissed anyway. So probably going to be having a smoke on the halfway line 20 minutes into the game anyway. Kabak needs a statue for that season, 100%. Him and Reece Williams as well. But big up. The bad thing is the most teams will be able to set up play us as we are limited to players that are fit as well. And that's the thing, innit? Spider, I'll ask you, you're starting back five because chat, let us know your starting back five. Ali, I'm going to go with, we're anticipating Gomez to play right back due to obviously the injury of Trent. I'd love Ramsey to start, and given that he's played against Celtic in the not Celtic, Rangers in the past, because I think he played 30 odd games for Aberdeen the season prior to us signing him anyway. So he's got a lot of experience. And he was voted one of the young Scottish players of the year as well that year. But what would your back five be, mate? Would you think?
Wishful back five. I would like to stick Ramsey in there and give him a shot. But you know, Joe Gomez doesn't let many balls go over the top of him compared to Trent. You know, he'll probably be stuck in there next to Canate, who he's played next to before, and you know, you'll have Van Dijk in next to them as well. So with Tsimikas on that left, so I think that's obviously Ali in goal. So who's been our, you know, he's been besides Diaz, he's been our best player of the season as well, saving us left, right, and centre.
Yeah, no, you're spot on. Chat, get your starting 11s in anyway. It's going to be interesting. Do Liverpool persist with a 4-2-3-1, or it was a 4-4-2 late on against Arsenal? As we said, I think I understand Salah's frustration, and I spoke about Klopp's decision making, but in hindsight, he's probably looking at that and going, I've seen Nunes. He's probably got a message off the medical department when going, yeah, he's out for 2 months. Yeah, you can get Jota off the pitch now because Jota, Salah, Nunes, if one of them gets crocked now, then you're looking seriously heavily depleted up front as well. So are you going to go, do you reckon Jürgen will go with 3 in midfield, mate?
The
4-2-3-1.
I don't know. He was working on the 4-2-3-1. I know he changed to the 4-3-3 before the end of the game the other day, but you know that was just kind of desperate measures, and it didn't seem to do much. It made us weaker, if anything. I think he'll go with the 4-2-3-1 and see if he can really develop that formation with the players that he has now. So, in saying that, will he start with Fabinho or Thiago? Yeah, I still think he'll go 4-2-3-1. This time around, I think, you know, even with Diaz gone, I still think there's an opportunity to play both Bobby and Jota at the same time because Jota can play him from that left hand side, whereas Bobby can sit in behind Nunes. You know, so, and I think if Bobby takes more pressure off Nunes by dragging the defenders out more, like he goes a lot deeper than what Jota would in that false 9 position, which he's going to be playing 10 now. I think, you know, he'll open up the gap for a lot of passes into Nunes, a lot more than Jota normally would. So yeah, for me, I would do a 4-2-3-1, and I look, it's probably is he going to bench Fabinho 3 games in a row? Is he going to start him? I think he has to start him really. So will he do Thiago or will he do Hendo in there? You know, and that's the thing. You know, I don't know. These games, no one might even have a call out for really. It's hard to go, but I'm just going to go with the team that I kind of feel that if he wants to you know, with Diaz gone, he's going to need to get goals early and then bring on players later, maybe. So, yeah, I'm going to go Hendo and Thiago again in the midfield. And I'm going to say the 4 lads up front. Jota, Bobby, Nunes, and Salah. So, because Salah needs a goal. He needs a few goals.
Yeah, sorry there, lie. I'm watching the Chelsea game and City are so poor, man. I know Napoli slapped our ass a couple of weeks ago, but this AC Milan side, we had Tyler Morton last season going to the San Siro and dropping our centre half? Was he took in the centre half? What's his name? Nat Phillips, was he out?
Oh, Phillips,
yeah. So Milan are rubbish at the minute. Chelsea is still winning 2-0 chat anyway. Okay. Did you see the Tomori sending off, Spider or chat? Let us know. For me, it wasn't a red card. It was very soft. Yet again, it was I understand that the foul it would have probably got a booking outside the box, or it would have been a foul, but in the box. But it's European football. You probably tend to do get those decisions, as we said. And RB Leipzig have literally gone 1-0 up, which is not good for Celtic. Rangers fans would be happy. Paris Saint-Germain still 1-1 with Benfica, as well. So big game for them. But yeah, Rob, have you been absolutely inundated? Oh yeah, I've had my Arsenal mate sending me a lot of lovely messages anyway. So yeah, it's been a fun week.
Yeah, I had one today. I haven't heard him message me in about 6-7 years, I think, on Facebook. I see him posting all the time, but he never messages me or talks to me. But I heard something today. All right, I was like, sorry, lad, you have 2 in 15 games. You're all right. It's all right at this stage. It's just like I think he beat us after we were on the piss, after the in the pandemic we won it. Like, so I goes, yeah. I don't listen to him half the time.
Yeah, no, it's the thing. Let them enjoy it.
That's the thing you have to realize.
United
fans, Arsenal fans, Spurs fans, or even Chelsea fans lately trying to take the piss out of you for losing a game on the season, or even anything over the last 5 seasons, is pretty much like a homeless person laughing at you for losing your house keys. That's pretty much what it's like.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, Fabinho is a good shout to play in defence if needed. Spot on there, Mark.
Started as a right back, didn't he?
Yeah, the next game's going to be very dirty. Just praying we get no injuries. It's the thing, innit? It's by the chat. If it does go sour, or in terms of Liverpool 2-15 up, you will, that does, or even if you're playing Sunday League, it always creeps into your game, even 5-a-side teams where they really trying to not get into the game, but just leave one on you, really, don't you?
Yeah. It's just you just have to try and pull through what we're getting through at the moment. You have to do it. Pull your socks up, get through it. Hopefully, not take any injuries. And what's it? You only told Klopp that if after 3 games seems harsh. Who was that about?
Who's that, Rob? Let us know in the comments.
Was that Fabinho? Was it?
Okay. Probably, yeah.
Yeah. So look, I know. Look, we need to just get through this group. Do what we need to do to get through it, and then there's a big chance here now for some of the younger lads to develop really in the side, just like we did 2 seasons ago when we had the harsh injuries again. But we have to kind of take a look at ourselves as well, as if to say this is like 2 seasons out of 3 in a row that we've had these amount of injuries, and pretty much without really much backup. So I think there's a big opportunity here either to develop the young fellas this season. If they don't work out, there's a chance we're going to have to go and start buying big over the next couple of windows, and really get cover where we can. Probably in a bit of experience, probably like trying to get another couple of Matips and another, or Jimmy Minor and these kind of players to come in and steady the ships and stuff like that behind other players that are going through, including the young fellas as well. But
we just need quality, mate. We need
quality. Yeah. We need experience and quality in there, and just do it. At the moment, we're an aging team. We do need youth, so we're going to have to buy big in a couple of young fellas. And but it's going to be a few 28-plus-year-olds coming in. I'd say on the worst side. That's a great analogy.
Yeah.
It is. And as I said, man, any Arsenal fan, United fan, or any of them lads that have been below anybody but City and ourselves the last 5 years or so. Any of them taking the mick out of you is pretty much like a homeless fella laughing at you for losing your house keys. That's just the way it is. Yeah.
I want to get through the group anyway, but will give us more games to play. It's the thing, Mark, innit? I think even when we did win the Champions League all those years ago, it was a case of really, look at bloody Mbappe rolling around. We'll get on to Mbappe, Christ. We're not signing him, but it literally liquidate Liverpool at this rate, the amount of money he gets anyway. But yeah, Spider, we need to. I think finishing top is very important because in terms of the latter stages, in terms of Shakhtar are beating Real Madrid as well. So that's Forsberg's made a 2-0 to Salzburg. Not Salzburg, RB Leipzig, sorry. So how much importance do you put on finishing top of your Champions League group, mate? Because at the end of the day, when I look at it, as much as you want to finish first, but considering how good Napoli are playing, they're playing absolutely superb, and and it's going to be so difficult in a couple of weeks when we do play them. Really, you watch them in Serie A and they've been really performing, transition their Champions League form into the Italian league, mate. But do you put too much weight into it, mate, or do you think it's important that Liverpool do
I
try
think
the best to get top in Champions League group?
I think Napoli have been doing well in Serie A, but I think the Liverpool result gave them a huge boost, and they feel like they can beat anybody at the moment. They're on top of the world. From starting 11 down to the bench. I don't think that they'll. I still think we beat them at home. We got to go and beat them at home. I don't care how good they are and what happened to us away. I mean, we've had times there where we played. Remember Belgrade? We beat them at home, winning. The atmosphere in Belgrade just kind of took us aback a bit, or we just didn't wake up that night and just lost the game. It could be just one of those, I remember seasons there with Spurs beat us 4-1 at the thing, and then we went on, and had a great season at the end, finishing up second and all. It's just these kind of results happen from time to time. We get one of them, maybe two of them in the space of a season and a half. It's very rare. I'm not too bothered about it. Importance in finishing top of the group. It all depends on who you get in the next round, really, and who you want to avoid. For me, I just don't care. I want to get through, and I'd play anybody in the next round. I'd take whoever we need to take and play them that way, because you're going to have to eventually beat them anyway. And I'd rather do it early than leave it build up to the very end and know who your opponents are going to be, and make it sweat a bit more or whatever. So bring it on, whoever the group winners are. If we come second, bring on the second place. If we come first, I don't care really. I think Liverpool we're such a good knockout stage team in Europe that I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue to worry about that now. If we get knocked out, we get knocked out, but I'll take on anybody in the meantime.
Yeah, I'm just having a little look there, chat. Sorry, in terms of the group stage, Shakhtar, it's a massive win for Shakhtar, given that RB Leipzig are winning. That would put Shakhtar 2 points behind Real Madrid. With obviously Real Madrid still playing Leipzig, you'd anticipate Real Madrid getting through that group. But I'll tell you what, if Real Madrid were to drop points again, or if they can get a result out of this game, literally in the 90th minute now, Real Madrid, Shakhtar are winning.
A 2-0 for that.
Yeah, they're winning. Just having a look. PSG, Benfica. Just a massive result that for Benfica, if they can keep it at 1-1. It's more or less the winner of that goes top of the group, which is good. And yeah, Chelsea still won 2-0. So in terms of, I'll just quickly rattle through the starting 11 as well that they play against Rangers in the first leg, chat. I think it'll be something similar as Spider alluded to in terms of midfields. Chat, let us know your starting 11 and obviously your score prediction for this game. I think all of us, as long as we get the points, that's the most important aspect of the game. And obviously the performance is key. But the way we're playing, even a 1-0, a 2-1, as long as we get the ball over the line in terms of certain aspects, it's the most important thing anyway. Alisson, I'm going to go with it was Alisson, Trent, Matip, Van Dijk, Costas, Hendo, Thiago, Salah, Jota, Diaz, and Nunes. That was what team that did play at home against Rangers. And Rangers did go with I think it was a 5-back. Yeah, it was a 5-4-1. Obviously, they started McGregor, Tavernier, King, Goldson, Ben Davies, the hologram, Barisic, Kent, Lundstrom, Davis, and Tillman, and then up front solely they had Morelos. But I think, as Spider alluded to at the top of the show, the comments coming from Rangers' camp in terms of their managerial, they're going to be coming out wanting to make a statement. They're at home, they'll have the crowd behind them as well, and they'll give it the role, really. I think we will anticipate a 4-4-2 formation or a 4-4-1-1. And given Tavernier, we didn't see the best of him at Anfield, and that was quite a good detriment, really, to Costas Tsimikas and obviously Luis Diaz down that left, keeping him quiet. In reality, we dominated that game, as we all know, in terms of statistics. It was a very, very easy game in comparison. We had 23 shots, only 10 shots on target, but we dominated the ball, as always, in Europe and obviously in Premier League teams as well. So as long as we do that, and chat or Spider, did you know if Ajax are playing at home tomorrow against. Let's have a
I
little
can
look
let
at-
you know that in 2 seconds.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
no, yeah, it's Napoli away. Ajax
Okay.
are away. They got to go to Napoli, and they obviously absolutely bloody slapped them as well, chat, didn't he? Napoli when Napoli played away, was it last week?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. What score was it? Yeah, it was 6-1 in the Amsterdam Arena. Christ Almighty!
I actually expect, well, if they beat them tomorrow night, you're expecting a second place finish unless you beat Napoli ourselves, and we'd have to beat them by more goals than what they beat us
Yeah,
to take the top spot. So it's kind of looking a bit like a second place finish, but at least, if they do slap Ajax tomorrow night, then it's looking like we're okay by just beating Ajax.
Try and guess their goal difference without looking. Napoli.
Ajax is on Napoli, so Jesus, so
in the Champions League.
6-4, 14.
14. No, they got it.
14-4.
Goal difference of 11. You've scored 13 and obviously conceded 2. So they're absolutely playing amazing football, really.
Did they score? Did they not beat us 4?
No, I've got the table up here, mate. Yeah. Goals for 13 against 2.
Right.
So, yeah.
Oh, it's because they scored 6 against Ajax, 4 against us, and 4 against Rangers. I thought that was 14.
No.
That's weird.
I'm looking at the table, unless Google's on anyway.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm looking at. How are you doing, Andrew? Big up to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Any ideas for what to watch tonight on Disney? I was going to watch the next episode of Andor. But yeah, go ahead, Andrew. As I said, mate, I know you've been going through a lot at the minute, mate, but look after yourself, mate. As I said, messages are always open, mate. Ring me whenever, as long as it's not like bloody 5 o'clock in the morning, like I've told you. But keep your head up, mate. And as I said, I'll probably speak to you tomorrow, mate. But thank you for tuning in. Yeah, good. Just wax something on Disney, mate. Go and just watch it. The new Andor's really good. I'm a massive fan of sorry, the chat for you probably like, I don't like Star Wars, but I'm a massive fan of that Andor. I haven't seen it yet. I'm waiting until I can binge it within like a day and watch episodes.
Yeah, I can't watch them away for a week. No,
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I'm too impatient.
Netflix destroyed us, lads. We used to be able to download them every week and watch them, didn't we? A few episodes a row. We can't do it anymore.
You had to go on like LimeWire. Remember back in the day, you'd have to go on LimeWire, and then you'd probably crash your computer. You'd like, what download everyone used to have that in the school days. Or is it like hang on, Real Madrid just scored. Yeah, Real Madrid just scored. Chiami. Hang on, is that going to be a foul? Goal. That Rudiger's absolutely. Rudiger's. Oh, please say that's been. Oh. I was going to say, Rudiger's fair play to him, but he's got a bloody head. I don't think that'll be a foul, but it's tell you what, he looks like a bloody gladiator. He's took a massive whack to the head, and I think that will be a goal. But that's if you can watch that tonight, Jazz, on Champions League BT goals. It's a tremendous ball into the box, and Rudiger. Oh, yeah, it's a goal, but he's just been absolutely done in by the bloody hell, the Shakhtar goal. He's just absolutely took him out. Oh, that's bad. That hopefully he's okay. Bloody hell. But look after yourself, Andrew, as I said, mate. And as I said, mate, always here for you. Finishing top only matters for the round of 16. After that, it's all top teams. So just get through the group. Spot on there, Eamon. That's where my thinking was, mate. It's just get through. Because I think if you're gonna win the Champions League, you need to beat the best anyway. Big up. Have you just seen that then, mate? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at
he's
that.
destroyed, man. He's down holding his head and everything.
Yeah. Hopefully we. Oh, that angle. As I said, it didn't look too bad initially, but Christ, hopefully Rudiger's okay. But he's done really well. It's the type of
the head. His head off head.
It's hopefully Rudiger's okay, but that just says a lot about his character, really. He's not been a shit house and jumped out of it. But yeah, he's gonna need. I don't even know.
Oh yeah, that's clash of heads. That's a bad one. He'll have a concussion after that. It's
That's probably one of the worst I've seen in a while. Chat, let us know your thoughts on that bloody incident there. Hopefully Rudiger's okay. He scored it's not gonna be a foul for Shakhtar. But how you doing, and big up, mate. At least us and Anta and Orbers and Ant's a massive Leicester fan. You've been on the channel, you know who Ant is. But both of us are playing rubbish, aren't we, mate? at least we can just laugh at ourselves, laugh at both our teams, and go, what are we doing this season? But yeah, hope you're well, mate, most importantly. And I'm looking forward to obviously the pre-match build-up with you, mate. It's going to be an interesting game. I'll tell you what, both teams not really been in a couple of weeks. So one to look forward to, really. I don't think trying the rush of the first goal will help us. Yeah, 100%. I watched an animation TV show called The Solar Opposites on Disney recently, and it was great. There you go, Chas. Recommend some shows for Andrew. That'll be good there. Appreciate that, Rob. Absolute legends. But Brian's gone with chat. If you haven't got your starting 11 and get them in there, chat, who you think? Obviously, Trent's out. Nunes is out. But yeah, is that 1-0? Benfica pounds on. I'll tell you what, Benfica are absolutely flying, especially with no Nunes. But Brian's gone with Ali Gomez playing right back, I'm guessing. Canate, Virgil van Dijk, Costas and Robbo, and Ife Henderson, Thiago Carvalho. I'm guessing on the left, mate. Bobby, Salah, and Nunes, but that's a good guess anyway. I think that would be something similar, Brian. Will be interesting. I think the big thing going into tomorrow night's game will, as Spider alluded to, down that left hand side. If Carvalho is given that opportunity to, or will it be Jota? As we've seen when he went off injured, shift over to the left. Bobby comes in, as Spider says, playing that number 10 position. But be interesting, really interesting. Big old bands as well. How you doing, Jack? Absolute legends. Jack 11 FIFA. Up the Reds. Just hoping the fans don't get a bad name against despite what happened last week. We are too classy before that, despite what the performance on the pitch anyway. Come on, Scholes. You shout at me for the come on, fella. Torrance. Oh yeah.
Lame words, Abby.
Yeah. Cheers, guys. Appreciate it. Going doing a great job. Thank you very much, Andrew. Nothing special, Andrew.
There's a few. I don't know if you have like links up to. I don't know if you use.
No. Don't say them on there.
I'm not going to give links. I'm just telling them TV shows. I'm definitely
TV shows.
Yeah. So there was one that I enjoyed ages ago called Being Erica, and that's always that's a good one. That'll get you into it for about 3 or 4 seasons. And there's but I'm always into the usual heroes, all these kind of supernatural things and stuff like that. Like I like them all. But there's a few of them that's out there, man. On these streaming networks.
Have you watched 95?
No.
It's the celebrations of Everton winning a trophy.
It's the feet of the cuckoo clock.
Okay, that made you laugh there, chat. I'll definitely be on the Disney Channel. The highlights from this week probably are on there. Yeah, Jazz has just seen that as well. Of course, he paid for that, wasn't he? It's good that he's actually up and walking. Rudiger is a beast. Yeah, it's literally everywhere. But big up, Darren. Darren, I have to get you on, mate, as I said. Thank you very much for tuning in, mate. Hope you're well. And make sure you head over to Darren's channel. Darren, you're welcome to drop your link in the chat, mate. One of the mods can get Darren's... he does a load of amazing interviews. You all know we'll be getting Darren on with a lot of legendary Liverpool fans. Obviously, he's done a pre-match show as well. So head it out there, chat. Before we do, we've got to speak about Mbappe at the back end of this show. But Spider, what do you think about the Mbappe situation in chat? It's a bit mad. I'll quickly get down.
Do I go up my fantasy head or do I go up my own head?
No, in terms of his attitude, really.
I don't think he's.
For me personally, I don't want that attitude in this group of players. The type of character he is, as much as even if he wants Liverpool, he's like as Chat's already alluded to before. He's a spoiled brat.
He's been hanging on with all your Neymars and all the other spoiled brats over there. All the lads have been paid a fortune, treated like kings, and have never played in any league worth their salt. Well, I suppose Neymar has in La Liga, but the majority of them haven't. Italian league, stuff like that. They're standout players in farmer leagues, and they're getting paid millions to play in said league. And they had, like, these guys have to go and prove themselves elsewhere. You know, that's give it up. I still think that Messi is one of the greatest players of all time. Still think Ronaldo is one of the greatest players of all time. My top is always Ronaldinho, even though he didn't score or win as much. He just Ronaldinho, as much as that, But like, you have to give it to Ronaldo that he played in a majority of leagues, and I never thought I'd see the day where Messi would leave Barcelona, But it's still, to me, Messi's by far the superior player for me. But like, yeah, it just depends. When these guys have to go and they have to prove themselves elsewhere, and that's it. And they're not going to, if they're going to do it. I mean, for me, I just don't think that any players worth their salt unless they've had a stint in the Premier League.
Do you reckon he watches Haaland, mate, and goes, oh, yeah. Like the fact that him and Haaland are like meant to be, but if Haaland carries on the next 2 seasons, even if he does go to, I've got a sneaking feeling, I know Haaland's going to go to Real Madrid in the next 2 to 3 years. He'll win the Champions League or win a couple of Premier Leagues at City and then go to Real Madrid. Because I think that's where every top player has it, even if Michael Owen won the Ballon d'Or at a young age as well. To have any aspirations, he's still good. For me, he's going to go to Real Madrid. And I think Mbappe sees that as a threat and he's like, oh, I need to get out.
Yeah. He does, but like apparently, he said that he's been betrayed or something by PSG. Is what he's talking about now, and Marsa or something. What the hell has he been betrayed? They gave him an absolute fortune to stay around and kick a football around the pitch, and not go to Real Madrid. So how the hell did he feel betrayed? I don't understand it. It makes no sense to me. I don't know what he's on about. I don't know what he's complaining. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes there. But apparently PSG or something are saying that we're the only team that wanted to sell, or he wants to go. Or something.
Yeah.
Or something. Yeah.
Chat, I don't know I know a lot of you don't have social media, so you're probably not aware of obviously some of the stories. But everyone was saying everything, and everyone was going, "Oh, confirmed, Mbappe wants out," and all that. I swear, all the news agencies and the publications, they all go in tandem, going, right, let's just talking about Mbappe anyway. And he's not coming to Liverpool, as we said. And even if he wanted to, as Chat alludes to, we couldn't even afford the bloody flight at this minute. Like, the thing is, we every single Liverpool fan around the world knows, can Mbappe play midfield? No, he can't. Unless we're going to be playing Mbappe in the midfield. He's sort of like literally, I know he's got bundles and energy, but he's just not what Liverpool needs.
We don't need a player up there. We really don't. Like, at the moment, we'll have to bring in Nunes. We have to give that lad a shot. We're not going to pay some of these stupid wages to come in and take over Diaz's position. It makes no sense. He's been our best player all season. I don't understand. I don't understand the links. I don't know why they're there. I never get them. I would just rather completely reinvent our midfield, really, and spend an absolute fortune in there, to be honest with you, and just see how we get along. I mean, we're not going to have James Milner next season. Ox won't be there next season. Keita won't be there next season. He'll be lucky to get past January. Henderson will be starting to go down the pecking order just because, it used to be. You have to understand that most of Henderson's career, he was blighted with injury until he decided to break his ankle that time and refuse it, and then he got less injuries. But James Milner went through the entire season, his entire career, without barely taking a knock or going off for even a game or so. So look, there are different cups that you always say, like, Henderson could go on and play until he's 38 or something like James Milner. Maybe he can't. Maybe he hasn't got the legs to do it, but we'll see. But not at the top level. I think that he'll finish 2 or 3 seasons less than what Milner was able to do, but in the background, kind of similar to Gerrard, to be honest with you, in that kind of fitness format. But we still need a proper backup for Fabinho. Now, what's after happening to poor Arthur Miller, he's had no luck, and he was fantastic. Like, he went to them for 62.5 million. That's how much he's rated before that car crash. So, like,
I think it wasn't even a footballing injury that he got injured, was it? It was just a freak accident, really.
Yeah, it was a car crash, and he's still getting back from those little injuries and stuff like that. So there was always, he was due to have like 2 operations or something that he never got, and this is the outcome from that now. Now he's going to have to get the operation because he's forced into getting it because of these injuries, So it's just, look, he could come good and he could be a good backup, but I'm sick of seeing injuries in that midfield. I'm sick of seeing players that we have in there with injuries. Loved Kade when I seen him come. I loved watching him in the Bundesliga. I was looking forward to him coming. I think he should have come in a season before that instead of going back on loan.
Yeah.
And then I think he would have been a completely different player for us, to be honest with you. Thiago's not getting any younger.
It's a mad one, no spy, didn't it, mate? When we signed them, and chat, the way in which Liverpool and the people, when we brought him in, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, he's a lot." The technical staff of Liverpool were like, "Yeah, this is a player that is integral to the way in which Liverpool want to play, and in terms of elevating our game." But it's madness, mate. That it's not really. We've seen it over the last 20, 30 years, even 40, 50 years. Players come into certain environments or certain leagues or certain teams, and you've not really quite hit them. What do you think, apart from injuries? Because for me, you're counting probably a very hard press for me. He's probably had about 5-10 good games in a Liverpool shirt, and that's good. I don't mean like 10 out of 10 before.
I feel sorry for him, man, because when he hits his peak potential, he picks up an injury and he's gone again, and it just wipes him out completely. And then we don't see another good performance out of him again for 4 months. And that's the kind of way it was from Sturridge from the end of his career at Liverpool as well. Just being able to field him once or twice every few weeks. Every 6 weeks or something, and that was the problem with the rotation there. Ox is another person I feel sorry for because he came in, started the ground running with his Liverpool career really well. So he's one of our best stand-up performers in that 2019 campaign. And was it 2019 campaign. So, I felt sorry for him because the minute he took that injury, he was never the same player again. But he was kind of injury prone at Arsenal anyway. But we didn't see that for Liverpool until that happened. Gomez was another promise, and he didn't even get like regular injuries. Gomez's issues were getting broken legs.
It was two bad injuries, wasn't it?
Yeah, Ben Mee and Raheem Sterling took him out in 2 separate seasons, and it just kind of fucked them up.
Even Origi, mate, and just Origi in that Everton game. Remember when Funes Mori, the little dickhead, my French, he was. That's a polite way of saying it. Origi that time, because I was in I was in hospital at the time because we had pneumonia, and I had the stream up it was years ago, and I was watching it, and at that period Origi was playing amazing, wasn't he? Like I think if he didn't have that injury, I think he'd still be at the football club. I know it's a big shout, but I think if he wasn't injured, I don't think.
He's another big loss this season as well, because we were able to bring him off the bench and get like get really important goals. So we're missing that kind of aspect as well, like the fall back in Origi. A lot of people don't see it, and they're talking about him being one of the worst signings in Italian history or something at the moment. But once you're built at a football club like you have been, like he was, since young really, then it's hard to develop yourself in another club, and he's getting judged too fast. I think in Italy, I think he'll come good in Italy, because it's not hard to become too good in Italy. If you don't come too good in Italy after being okay in the Premier League, then there's something wrong with you. So I just asked Lukaku, you know what I mean. So that'll tell you, just if you're average in the Premier League, you're going to be something good in the Italian league for me. So I don't know.
You look at Giroud, and I love Giroud, chat. I don't know how you feel. Let us know your thoughts on Giroud. I know it's a bit of a tangent, but he's probably one of my favourite players, non-Liverpool players over the last couple of years, last 10 years, because he's such a good player, and he was massively underrated at Arsenal.
He's clever player. He's the wrong club at Arsenal.
Yeah,
he probably would have suited the Spurs better or something like that. With a single kind of player up front rather than playing the intricate passes through the middle of the park like Arsenal do. Giroud was a fantastic player. It just reminds me, going back to that, we were talking about it the other day, going back to that 3-3 that I was at when remember Joe Allen came up and scored the equaliser at the end, and he was involved in that game as well. He was very good against us in that game. So there's a couple of times that Giroud stung us, there's some players out there that are really good. I mean, he surely has to be class better than Nicholas Bettner for Arsenal, in the same kind of ilk of flair, So Giroud was a very good player for Arsenal. I think they didn't really get the best out of him because they didn't play to his strengths. Really, they played to the Arsenal strengths, and Giroud just kind of adapted really. as best as he could, you know. So yeah.
I love him. The record and the history books not too far off breaking records in the French national side. So, and he was integral to obviously France winning the World Cup a couple of seasons ago. Anyway, so he's your hold up player really. But yeah, the big up Darren as well. We'll be getting Darren on when he's available. Just give us a message this week, mate, if you're free.
What's that? Was that the channel? Whose channel is it?
Yeah, that's his channel, mate. He's got all the guests on. So, and nice one there, Mark. Mark's dropped his link in there. Absolutely legend, mate. Like Jack said, we couldn't even afford Killian's flights from Paris to John Lennon. 100%, mate, we couldn't. We couldn't. Ronaldo, the real one. Messi, then Ronaldinho. But Ronaldinho was... Yeah, it's the thing, Brian, innit? I remember being young in like year 7 when I broke into school. At that time, it was Joe when you'd spend your hours in ICT just watching YouTube. That's why I probably got bad GCSEs anyway. So I just watching clips of Messi anyway. But
I just seen somebody called me a welterweight UFC fighter. I only just spotted that.
Oh yeah. I'll go. Where's
I'll have you know it's more like middleweight to middleweight, I think.
There we go, Jose. I'll be a good mate of the channel as well. Big old Jose. So you've got the Viking look anyway. Conor McGregor.
It's usually in the Viking look. Yeah, I'll be there tomorrow night. I like to leave it down the night before I have to tie it back up again.
Big old Jose anyway. As I said, mate, thank you very much for dropping in, mate. I don't know what look I've got going on. Probably shocker him now. Anyway, don't mention it. For the Mbappe Haaland, it's going to happen whenever it's in the Prem or Spain in a few years. Who knows? There'll always be shocking transfers the past few windows. It's either for me. It's chat. If you could pick a team who Mbappe is going to go to, who do you think it will be? Not going to be Liverpool, so I've got a sneaking feeling if there's going to be a Prem team, it will be Chelsea because the sheer amount of money that their owner is willing to spend, or it's going to be Real Madrid. I mean, it's either going to be one of them, or for me,
somebody's thrown in a load of stuff there. On the bottom here, I just get rid of him. Somebody black him there. I don't know what that is.
Oh yeah, so that's Cheers, mods. Thank you very much for that. As I said, but yeah, no. Chat, if you could pick, as Brian said, who's probably your favourite player? I know there's quite a lot of people in chat and from different generations, but if you can pick one or two in terms of the modern era, who's probably your favourite player to watch in terms of your most exciting player? Giroud, if you had to pick an outsider, not obviously he's not exciting to watch Giroud, but he's really underrated for me, but yeah, Spider, who do you pick if you had to pick one at the minute? I think we can't have Ronaldinho, chat if you could pick one. And without picking the main ones if you can. I think we're all blessed that we're watching Messi as well.
Yeah,
Messi's phenomenal.
I don't want. Yeah, you said one of the main ones, but my favorite is Son outside everybody, and I can't. I can't. You know, I mean, so I can't. You know, I just thought he would have been a much better player suited at Liverpool if he played with us rather than. I know he does really well at Spurs with him and Harry Kane, but he's got too much work to do in the position that he plays. Most of the time, he has to take on nearly an entire team just to get up the pitch and score. You know, so yeah, I know that's. But he's probably counted as a main one. So I'm just trying to think outside the box who I'd like.
It's I've got him. Kevin De Bruyne. Like for me, it annoys me. It annoys me that he plays Man City, but he just
and he's a Liverpool fan. Yeah, and he's a Liverpool fan. Yeah, yeah, it does me head in as well.
They're all Liverpool fans. Spider. I bet you Kylian Mbappe turn around. I'm a Liverpool fan. Do you know what Timo Werner done all those years ago? Was it last year when he went to Chelsea? He basically outed Liverpool in an interview publicly on us after a Champions League game and went, yeah, basically come and get me Liverpool, and then he went to Chelsea anyway. So he's chatting bare well. But yeah, you went with Son. I'm gonna go with Kevin De Bruyne. Obviously I don't want to pick one of the main ones, Messi, Ronaldo. They're a bit too easy, but let us know. A training just needs to take it down a notch, having too many injuries. And we'll probably do a show on that, Mark, and it's a great point, that, mate. Thank you for dropping that question in. Jones will be back very soon, Brian. It's similar in with like the likes of Gomez, Matip, Curtis. We said before the season started, didn't we, chat, that this season would have been a make or break season for Curtis Jones, but injuries yet again, which seems to be the same case for a lot of these players, as you said there, chat. Big up, Cedric. Thank you very much for dropping in, mate. But Jack, what's your lineup tomorrow? I'll quickly go through it and then get Spider's quick one. I'm going to go with Ali in goal, Gomez right back, Canate, Van Dijk, Costas, Thiago, Henderson. Who else are going to play? Saying that, no. I go Thiago, Fabinho to give Hendo a rest. Go with Fabinho if he's fit. Then I go with Salah, Nunes up front, Jota in behind, and then Carvalho on the left. Spider, would you go something similar, or would you change one or two?
I just change around. I don't know if it is the perfect game to give Carvalho a run out, but if you want to get a couple of early, I think he will get a run out. But I think if you want to get a couple of early goals and take off some of the lads to rest them again for City, I'd probably bang on Bobby up there just to kind of dance, because I don't think a defense like Rangers can handle somebody like Bobby Firmino running in around amongst them, in that kind of false 9 number 10 role. So yeah, I'd probably have Jota on the left and Bobby in the centre behind Nunes, just to take a lot of pressure off Nunes and just to open up passes through to him, and Salah on the right. Now the difference being, I don't know if he will go with, does he want a rested Fabinho going into the City game, because he tends to have really good games against Man City, Fabinho, and that's the game I'd like to see him kind of started. But it all depends on if Klopp is going to stick with this 4-2-3-1 formation. He must surely think he's going to go with that if he's going to be playing it now, like coming into the week before City, because that means they haven't played a game with the 4-3-3 for the last few weeks before coming into City, and then all of a sudden change it. I know they can play it with their eyes closed, but still, it hasn't worked out so far this season. So that 4-2-3-1 is more defensive. It picks up those. It means that they don't have to close down as much because they're already in positions to get in between players. So yeah, I look.
You're not going to go Mike Bassett 4-4-2.
Nah, I'm not going to do that.
Fucking two.
I know, you kind of want to see. I don't think they play Fabinho right back. I think it's going to be Gomez. That's his kind of backup position now. I don't think Ramsey will start, but I think he might get a run out in the game. We'll see. Take off Gomez a bit later, or watch Canate and move Gomez into the right centre back position. Yeah,
we love you.
No more Guinness. Actually, lads, I'm now saying I'm officially off the drink. I fully am. The whole lot. I have a pub out the back and everything, and I'm selling it. So that'll tell you I have to go. I've gone off for a full training campaign for the next 6 to 8 months. So that's just going to be wasted out there. But anyway, we'll go back to that anyway again when I jump off the wagon again in Christmas.
My training camp's just going to the Asda to get some Coke. Packet to 20. Packet to 20. Coke.
No. I just I felt my age now going out to the pub the other day, like on Sunday, so for the Arsenal game. So I'm done from that. Anyway, back to the team. Yeah, I know you'd say Fabinho sitting inside there, but if he's going to do that, I don't know. Will he stick with the same thing again? Although Hendo looked a bit knackered the other day. Actually, I'll change my mind. I think I'll go with Thiago and Fabinho in the centre as well, because I think Hendo needs a bit of a rest as well. Those lads up front. So that was my only weird decision was it going to be Fabinho or Henderson, but I probably agree. It's probably a good game to give Fabinho more minutes in and get him ready for City on Sunday again. So
yeah, spot on. It's a great question. Comment. Sorry, miss. Sorry, Brian. It was a comment. I played golf at a really high amateur level, but injuries totally ruined me. It takes a serious mental toll, lads. Always being on the edge of fitness. It's stressful. Yeah. And we know over the years since Jurgen Klopp come in, I think a lot of work was done behind closed doors in terms of nutritionists, getting the right people in the best possible people in the best jobs, really, at Liverpool. And it's the mental aspect. I think the last 10-year period, especially with social media as well, not just in life in general, but in terms of footballing, I think all of us kind of do forget footballers are still human at the end of the day, and they are probably courtesy to, well, especially when you are playing bad, that the amount of rubbish, horrible stuff they must get. And it's the thing, like, that's why I try and not go too overboard in terms of doing my videos, because at the end of the day, these lads have done so much for us. But obviously we can critique them, but these lads have done so much for us over the last 3 to 4 years in terms of just competing at the highest level. As we've said, me, you, Spider, and a lot of people, and even everyone in all the videos and comments, and even if in the pub with your mate, these lads have needed help for the best part of the last 3 to 4 seasons, really. We're not asking for like £100 million players in every single area. We're just asking for a bit more added quality in terms of the bench, having an extra 2, 3, 4 world-class players in their positions. That way we can just rotate and make it easier, where we can just, if Fabinho's out of form, drop him Spider in it and then bring him in, and then it just makes it so much easier.
Yeah. You know, we need to be going after some of these players. We'd love to get the Barellas and all of these and all of these guys in, but you know, it's just, if we're going to be serious about it, I think this is one of those seasons where a lot of people are putting pressure on the owners rather than the team now. And I've seen it a lot online. Nobody's really, you get the odd idiots, and I'm going to call them idiots because they are idiots, that are attacking Klopp. You know, and I get it. Like, Klopp will also be as mentally fatigued as those lads on that pitch, and they can only give him so much, and he has to make the right decisions based on fitness. Not even if we say this player is better to come on the pitch, he knows from training and he knows from the mental level who's the best one to bring on at that stage. So when we're questioning things that were like bizarre on Sunday coming on and off, then you must say that there must have been a reason why these guys weren't kept on, or you know, or that he was, you know, maybe holding on to watching him for fitness levels, especially Jota, you know, because he's only just back, so we don't want to lose him again. It's important. So you got a lot of these things that are going to be playing on his mind, but he needs now, and this is what my first time coming out and saying it with the owners, whatever they did that, because I've always said, look, they've done fantastic with the club, with the odd mistake, and that you don't see many owners publicly come out and apologize as well, compared to the time.
I think they had to do that.
Had to. But
they wouldn't have lasted 2 seconds in Liverpool.
Trying to raise the prices and become an Arsenal team in Liverpool, or the Arsenal price team in Liverpool, was not going to happen. And, you know, they made these little mistakes that went on to that big one, you know, with the Super League and all of that. But now is the time. They've backed him when he needed Alisson and Van Dijk. You know, he's backed them when they needed other players in there, but some of them have, you know, haven't worked out, or coming out to injury. But no, he needs to. We're at a stage where we're in kind of a transition again, but there's still good enough players in the team to be part of that transition for the next few years. So just build on that midfield, pay the bloody money, and get whoever we need to get in. That's you know, back up everywhere else, but just go world class in midfield and just go for it, you know.
Yeah, so on the back of my mind, mate, and chat as well. Unless in the next 6 months or 12 months, where Liverpool literally go out in the market and we get the creme de la creme of players and best young talent in world football, and we're like, oh my lord. Well, that is very highly unlikely. But if it was a matter of Liverpool, as we've said, we waited with Van Dijk, we waited for certain other players as well. Yeah, it was like, even Ibu Canase, Klopp was like, no, this is the lad at once. We may do, not that it was right by any accounts, we're not saying that, but in terms of we are going to go out and get big players, then I'm hoping that we're all like next 6 to 12 months going, sounds. As much as it's annoying, we want to win now, we do, but the Premier League's not.
We're not accustomed to losing.
Yeah, the Premier League's not won in the first 9 weeks of the Premier League season, which is a good thing. But as you said, mate, we're not accustomed to really.
We're not accustomed to do this, and we're back. You know, well, I was more accustomed to losing that because because I've been watching since that I remember back as far as 1986. But like, I've been through the 90s with those Liverpool sides, and I've been over there, I've been cheering them on. I've been spending my money going there when it was a lot easier to get tickets, by the way. No, it's hard for me to get a fucking ticket because everybody decided to be a Liverpool fan again. But like, it's just the way it is. I was getting tickets weekly around that time, But it was
you won't be no chance now of all the corporate tickets, mate. You'd have to be paying like 20 grand to get in the ground now with the new stand.
Yeah, I know. You know, it's just sitting behind dudes with Man City t-shirts on inside Liverpool jackets. It's not my cup of tea. Like, you see half of them ones there, like poor
You don't
Asians.
see in that chat with the fellow with the Man United flip
Yeah,
flops at Anfield. Oh my lord!
I don't want to be doing that. I don't want to be sitting behind them. But we don't. Thankfully enough, we don't see it too much at Anfield. But look, he needs backing, big time. You know, he needs Klopp is. There was a video came out something about him being deflated the other day. I watched the video. He didn't
Oh,
look
that
deflated.
on that
Yeah,
one,
that
mate.
was-
Sorry to interrupt you, but that was massive, and I mean massive.
Yeah.
And I've studied media for the best part of the last
Yeah.
10 years, and that it's so bait by all
Yeah.
these news agencies. The thumbnails that
Yeah.
literally Jürgen was just wiping his
his eyes. He was just like, "Oh
but
yes, we're
he
okay."
massively clickbaited him to
Yeah.
pretending he's crying.
Nah.
I'm like, that, kids and ladies and gentlemen, that is the media in the 21st century now. That is exactly what they want. Literally, you could be going out walking the dog or something, and you'd be like, "Oh, you've done something." It's like,
They know why,
bloody
because nobody reads the articles. They just take the pictures
Yeah.
and share it. So, you know, that's what kids do. They don't read the articles. They don't watch the videos, and they're just like, "Oh, look at this with Klopp, with this with Klopp," and in 2 seconds somebody watches the video and they make a fool out of them. But still, there's nothing wrong there. Like, Dude just signed a new contract with the backing staff. We're perfectly fine. Like, Klopp has to be backed 150 million%. Like, you can't get, like, there's no other better manager out there in the world football that could come in and do with these lads that are left in this team. You're talking about a complete rebuild if that happens. And you're
And we
talking about
spoke
fellas
after the game,
leaving.
Spider.
Yeah.
We spot on there, mate. But in terms of the owners, would you say,
Yeah.
like they FSG the way they were, Jürgen Klopp is there, creme de la creme in terms of the man they want to build around, really, innit?
Yeah. It just goes to show you, like, Klopp is ruthless when he wants to be ruthless. People are saying that he's too loyal to his team or whatever, but he's loyal to the lads that have backed him up over the last 3 or 4 seasons. But when somebody doesn't pull their weight, Klopp is ruthless and he will get rid of him. Straight away. We found that out with Lovren. We found it out with Sacco. We found it out, the land that spent the end of his time there, but he was still loyal to him because he played so well. For us, when he was with us in those few seasons before the injury started kicking in. But this is what we kind of have to shift now a lot of. We're getting to the stage where we're kind of like Arsenal at the moment with a lot of injuries, but we have players that have really good quality, but just stuck with a lot of injured players. And these need to be shipped out. And I mean sooner rather than later. I'd like to see some of these guys, I like, thankful for their time and whatever like that, but I'd like to see some of these guys build up the bank for us in January. And I know we need players, but I'd like to get in at least a couple of midfielders in January. Whether we go young, one, or whether we overspend for somebody in the Premier League, like maybe a Casado or somebody like that, somebody like this that can come in and do some sort of a job for the second half of the season for us. We know that Arthur Miller's not going to be back until January again, and then he'll still have to build up his match fitness and all of that. So he mightn't even kick a football for Liverpool. It's kind of like Davies kind of way, but we'll see.
I said the same to lads today. Inter have only sent him on loan to Liverpool so they can use the NHS for the healthcare to get Juve wanted to use the NHS for his surgery, didn't he?
Oh man, I don't know. Like, look, Arthur's a good player on his day. He was just unfortunate with that car accident. And if he gets back anywhere near his best, and he's still with us on loan, and we get the highlights of him, he might be a cheap buy to pick up, like, for about 10-12 million, you know what I mean, that kind of way, because they're not going to sell him for what they got him for, which is 62.5 million. But at the end of the day, we need to go for world class first, and and drop the dead weight, to be honest with you, at this stage. So
They probably sent him over and he drank a load of Red Bull. He's just flying on cloud nine. I'm going to Liverpool. And then off camera, he's probably limping all over the gaff anyway. He's like, "Oh, I'm injured. Get me an hospital. I need to get a surgery or something." Riquelme was a player I love to watch. I've only seen on the documentary. He's really prime, but he was quite a stocky player, wasn't he, Spider?
Argentinian, he was a good winger. He was fantastic, Riquelme. Yeah,
central midfielder, as well.
No,
play everywhere.
Most of the time, wouldn't he on the right hand side of the midfield?
I think so.
He's left legged. I might think of the other fella. No, I'm thinking Riquelme. Okay, I am. But great players, man. Most Argentinians around that time were great footballers.
Yeah, Drogba. Love him as well.
Yeah.
Shame he played for Chelsea. Tremendous. And you think about Drogba, especially that Carragher, the day Drogba retired, I know both of them probably retired. I think Drogba played for a couple more years after Carragher.
Yeah.
But I think that the day Carragher retired, he was like, oh my God, I don't have to play against Drogba or Henry again. You'd see, I remember those games when we played Chelsea in Champions League with Rafa. Drogba would start 20 yards behind Jamie Carragher and knock the ball in front of him.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
look where Carragher just chased that if you want, mate. And Drogba just...
Yeah, he's just like he knew everybody knew that Carragher's pace wasn't really there. You know, he was more of a stride type of player rather than a speedy player. So yeah, there was Carragher had faults to his game, but you know his benefits outweigh these faults, especially how much he loved the club as well. You know, on top of it. So if you could have half the players like them with the passion in the team, you'll have a great team. And you know they played. You think like would a Carragher and all of that probably get in the team this year? It probably wouldn't. Probably Stevie G out of the old squad would probably be the only players that would probably ever set foot in the team now. You know, in the midfield. Maybe Carragher right back. I don't know, but like in comparison, like Van Dijk has been fantastic for us. You know, but then
it's mad how big Van Dijk is, though. Have you seen interviews with Van Dijk as well, Chas? Like, I think one of the very first interviews, like even Carragher made a joke about it a couple of years ago when he was sat next to Virgil. Like you just have to, obviously, if you see him on telly and that, but like if we were standing next to Virgil one day, you'd be like, "Bloody hell, you're a big lad, aren't you?" Yeah. But he's big, like he's like built like a bloody tank as well. Anyway, so.
Just naturally big without having to put on the muscle. Yeah, that's just the way he is, you know.
Yeah, he has his greens and he has his Weetabix anyway. I don't eat the crust as well. One of those. I don't eat the crust.
Mark is on there as well.
Yeah, that's what the other things we need to do is finish high up the table to attract new players. You spot on there, Mark. We've rattled through a couple of these. Quite well, all of them anyway. Rattled through. Do you want to see Elliot? Hopefully, you mentioned that Spider, didn't you, before, mate? Minutes for Ramsey would be helpful. Half an hour every couple of games, or maybe.
I think that's super important. That one, I think seeing Ramsey on the pitch is super important more than anybody else to get game time. I think we need to see Ramsey out on that pitch ASAP. And against a Scottish team, I think would be the perfect place to give him the last 20 minutes or 15 minutes of a cameo to come on for Gomez, I think.
Yeah, Robinson, if he was fit, would have loved to have played in Celtic, Rangers. Sorry, being a young Celtic lad himself, anyway. The media trolls. Being brutal is putting it lightly, Mark. They can be absolutely.
They're scumbags. Media are scumbags, man. They're just absolute scumbags. That's why I watch fan channels all the time, and I watch this and that because people are giving their honest opinions. They don't need to make a story out of it. All they need to do is just create a witty headline for a start of a video. But everything is just about honest opinions and total, transparency. Whereas media is only there for one thing, and that's to create the biggest amount of drama to sell the biggest load of money. I think trying to get the biggest amount of money that they can. It's just absolute scum. I never read them. I never subscribe to them or anything. So
no, but that's why I appreciate everyone for tuning in to me, John Moore's Corners as well, Cop Council 18 History Reds podcast, Jamie as well, Jamie Phillips. I'm just being the privilege of meeting Spider as well and speaking to every single one of you every single night. Even if there was 2 people in the streams, I'd be still doing my videos anyway. So. As long as you use it, most importantly, I hope you use it all well as well. Everyone, look after yourselves, as I said, especially with the pandemic and everything. The last 2-3 years, it's been really difficult for everyone, but absolute bloody legends. Shame the Reds are losing. Klopp wants to win more than any of us. He's given everything to this team and to us as well, and it's mentally draining as well. Like Spider, spot on, Darren there. That's why Liverpool waited 30 years to win a Premier League. It's not the expectations of managing Liverpool Football Club. There's only certain type of character that can do that and win at Liverpool, really.
He needs to own and slot himself into that club, like, unbelievable. And I kind of got it wrong a while ago because I was thinking, like, Stevie G would slot into that team now. But you have your Mascherano and Xabi Alonso there as well. So they probably would have taken over. If you had that midfield with the rest of this team now, you're probably laughing all day long. But, but in saying that, getting back to what you were saying there, I would... Yeah, the expectations of managing Liverpool, man, it'd be too big for most managers. I think, look, there's only a handful of...
I'd definitely lose my ear. Lose my ear if I went to.
Yeah, look, and now even more so having to follow Klopp. And this is why I'm dreading the day that he ever leaves, because having to follow him into the club it's an
impossible.
impossible task. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's similar to Moyes following Fergie in and hoping to continue it on there. Probably Pep, if you're going, like, the only way that could happen is the old school way it happened with Liverpool, which is like the boot room style takeover, where it's already the same mentality, but then you mightn't have really much fresh ideas, but you're strong enough anyway to kind of continue on those ideas. So it's a matter of Pep Linders is probably the next best choice to take over as manager.
Oh yeah, I can already hear people on social media screaming at the top of their lungs, no. But it's the thing. No, mate, you're spot on. Like it's as you said, because even if another manager did come in and he'd destroy everything that has just come before him as well, and then you're looking like, oh, we're back to square one, and the foundations are set so perfectly at the minute that we're all hoping Jürgen can stay for the next 20, 30 years. But as we said, we're not, all of us aren't body language experts, but we're Liverpool fans. We're just watching Jürgen, and it's the man we all of us love and adore, and he's done so much for us. And if it does continue the next 12 months, not that I want him to go, but I think in his end, I think he might one day potentially, hopefully that is not the case, but he might just go, enough's enough. I just want a more easier life, which is mad because it's so much weight. And I think that's one aspect of Liverpool that doesn't really get talked about really, is the expectations.
Yeah,
even though we've literally had like the best part of 3-4 years where we've lost probably in excess of like less than 10 games.
Yeah, I think we've done so well on the clock. Like what you don't want it to do is get to the point where this is where you kind of want to do things a bit quickly and rehash it all a bit more and getting the best player, getting good players and keep the quality going. Because if you let it go too long, it becomes to a point where the resentment for the position overshadows the love for the club.
What he's built.
Yeah,
everything he's built.
He started to resent himself in the role. He started to doubt himself in the role. And then you could see, you'll see resignations being talked about, or sackings being talked about, and FSC don't want to be sacking Klopp. They don't. Like he's their bread and butter now. But I mean, he needs to be able to rebuild quickly. Like there's a thing about rebuilds because we've been hearing United talking about rebuilds for the last 10 years. We've been hearing Spurs talk about rebuilds. We used to talk about rebuilds all the time until you get the right man. But it all comes down to the right situation, the right manager, and the right structure of a club. And once you get that, you don't really need a rebuild. You just need a reshuffle and just bring in just a bit of freshness. It's just a refreshing, let's call it. And that's all it needs to go. Like we've done it over the past few seasons, but we've just never had as much injuries or as much lacking in the same position of midfield that we've had this entire time. So like we went away, we did it with Alisson and Van Dijk in the defense, and then we topped it off more. Like we brought in Kanate on top of that, who's been great since he came in. We've done it with Fabinho in the midfield, but even he needs a hand now. There's nobody else that can really go in there and do his role. And even he needs help now to come in there and have somebody rotating with him. We brought in Thiago, and he's been great, but he's not a guy that will run everywhere for you. He's a guy that can control a midfield with a strong midfield next to him. But if he has to chase the game, then he's pointless for us. He's useless to us, really. So there's a refresh that has to happen here in that midfield right now, and it needs to be done sooner rather than later. And it needs to be.
Even in certain areas as well, mate, in terms of the attacking and defensive.
Yeah. It is.
You're spot on, man. But saying that we need top players, everyone's price, 100%. And it was a great point what Spider mentioned there as well, in terms of, we spoke about Jürgen. We've seen Newcastle will eventually start winning trophies, but I know I get Eddie Howe's a great manager, but time will tell next 5-10 years. If he's still at Newcastle and he's won a European Cup or Premier League, fair enough. It might prove me wrong, but the aspirations of where they're going.
It could be their version of a Mark Hughes from Man City.
Yeah, as you said, you get like Newcastle, it takes another 2-3 managers to get where they want to be. And then even the third manager that probably gets them into Europe, he'll get the chop. And then the manager that gets them into the Champions League will probably get the chop as well. In terms of getting the sack as well. So and then say a Carlo or a high-profile manager like that will be at the club, and then will eventually. But that's going to take a while, and it makes it in terms of as Spider alluded to, it's about getting the right players and the right manager as well. So it's so difficult for clubs now, unless you're Watford who sack every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Really, it's mad.
It took City from 2008 until 2011 to do it. So it was like three and a half full seasons, something like that, when they came over and took over, and when Robinho signed from, and he thought he was signing for United,
and he signed a load as Ross as well. I think everyone forgets the 4 signings they made at the beginning.
Yeah,
like even Rocky Santa Cruz and all shite like that.
That was strange, wasn't it? Yeah, and then it's just I think it's really when Pellegrini came in, Mancini came in after that they started kind of hitting the ground running. In these kind of types of managers. Look, they'll take a while, but I don't think that like Newcastle will have it as easy as City and Chelsea did when they got the money in, because I think it's a lot stricter now, and they've been watched a lot more on what they can spend and how they do it. I just think Man City have a great way of laundering money, to be honest with you. I think they have a great way of spending their own money in their own little, no staff companies sponsoring them. There's literally no staff in their companies that are sponsoring them. So look, as with the lads said there, it just comes down to even having the money. Do we have the money to do it? We just made a deal with Coca-Cola. We've got one of the biggest deels with the sponsorship.
Did we?
Yeah,
I thought people were taking the piss. Have we actually made
we made a deal with Coca-Cola, but they've done it with another few clubs. But there's a lot of money coming in from them, And then you have, the night deal alone, should be a big sign in the season. That's what that's there for, to bring in somebody big a season, that kind of money.
And stars on night. You order an away kit and you still can't even get them in the store.
Yeah,
carry on there.
I ordered my third one on the 5th of September when he came in the door 2 days ago. So that'll just tell you, that was a...
Come on, FSG. Blame FSG. That's FSG's fault. It's a joke, everyone. Everyone's randomly clicking it.
No, we know we need to spend. Newcastle are going to have a tough time ahead of them, more so than City and Chelsea when they first started doing it. But if they can do it, they can do it. The thing is now there's a lot of teams there with a lot of money now going around the place, and not as much as spend as City and Newcastle can now. But there's enough there on the table that the other boys can compete if they just convince the right player to come. So there's more competition for players there, whereas City were able to buy all the best players to the best positions in the last few seasons, really. And nobody could do anything about it because they were just offering more on bonuses, more on image rights, more on all of this kind of stuff that they could make money off of. Like Erling Haaland's been making 900 grand a week at the moment, That's ridiculous money.
I think it massively relies on them, City or any top team, especially in the Premier League, whoever can get the next Kevin De Bruyne, if you get me. Because Kevin De Bruyne is basically equivalent to Gerrard at Liverpool or Rozier. Like Kevin De Bruyne is on another planet how good he is at football. Put him in Liverpool's team. Liverpool win every single Champions League, every Premier League for the best part of the last 4 or 5 year period. Not everyone, but we would have won a lot more trophies with Kevin De Bruyne in our team. I think, would you say it's bad if you look at Liverpool's team, if you could pick one player out of City's, it will be Kevin De Bruyne.
It'll be Kevin De Bruyne all day long. I don't care who Haaland is and all that. It's what we need and what we want, and what we need is a type of Kevin De Bruyne player, and what we need is backup for Fabinho, and what we need is another anchor to swing with Thiago in there. So it's just. Look, we're short in the midfield. That's where most of our stuff is a problem area. There's not enough creativity happening from the midfield up to attack. It's mostly coming the wings again and trying to be brought in from the outside. We do need that creative midfielder. We do need that, we do need that strength in midfield as well. So, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I've just seen the time, mate. When are you starting your stream?
I start to straight after this.
Oh, sounds.
I haven't streamed. Yeah, for those that have been watching me for the, I've got finishing Alien after this, Alien Isolation straight after this, and then I'm going to start Madison, I think, tomorrow, which would be good. I'm playing horrors. It's horror month for me, so yeah.
But Jack, get your favorite horror movie, and you can't say the highlight of this season. That's cheating.
Yeah.
So don't mention Liverpool's highlights this season. But yeah, get your favorite horror then before.
Hello, Doug.
But big up Doug as well, saying hello to Brian. But stop one. It was a great comment by Brian. Sorry, yeah, no, it was a good comment anyway. But yeah, it does get quite toxic. I don't spend a lot of time on Twitter. The only time I do, I just pop on now and again to just post my links and someone message me say hello. But I just tend not to spend too much time. The best platform probably watch is probably YouTube. I think a lot of people do. I'm quite into me FIFA, as you all know. So I'll just but this is a comments I want to bring up as well. But I just one last point of injuries. Even as a golfer and a solo sport, as a solo sport, your first thought when you get another injury is that you're letting other people down. Football is 100 times worse, I'd imagine. Yeah, and even if you go to the ground or if you watch it on telly, like it's the environment that you do playing. It's like imagine going to work and you've got 50,000 people, and then plus the countless millions around the world, Spider.
Imagine jumping off the bus with the flu and then you say I have to go home. You're jumping into work and they're just like, oh, I feel like crap. I go on the way home and 50,000 people are just like sick note again.
It's like,
you know, yeah.
It's like, you're playing fucking shit. Get off. Yeah.
Oh, man.
But he's fuzz on there.
Yeah, it's nuts.
It is mad.
It's nuts.
But even lads,
too much pressure. I know they get paid a lot of money, but there is a lot of pressure on some of them, you know, that don't need to be there.
Yeah, he's spot on there, Brian. But how you doing, Russ? Russ, I hope you probably are still celebrating the win. And quite rightly so. You top of the league, absolutely bloody flying. But Russ, I don't want you to come at the end of May, bottle it, and be like 20 points behind City. And then you're just like, keep it up, mate. But big up, mate.
That'd be like 2 seasons ago where United came second and they were still about 20 points behind City, but they were delighted with the second.
The best one was the Spurs when they finished third in a 2-horse race. It was like the most Spursy thing. Like
that was Leicester.
Where Leicester, the season Leicester won the league. They finished third. I'm like, oh my god.
The two teams were well ahead of everybody else. And they got dragged back in the last 2 games or something. It's just ridiculous. Very Spursy.
You know.
Yeah.
That's why I don't want Poch anywhere near this football club. I was saying good. The injury-prone players are taking up space and wages. Yeah. Another player could come in and do a job instead. 100% there, Adam. I think even one player could probably do the job of like 2-3. Yeah, like, Charles, if you haven't seen any of Schumann, that's a better pronunciation. Yeah. Everyone's been saying to me, you pronounce it wrong. I've probably pronounced that wrong. Anyway, but Schumann of Real Madrid, the lad that we were meant to bring it in. I haven't seen it. Just type in his highlights of the season. You look at him like, oh my God, he's ridiculous. Like, you watch him and you can, I'm just imagining him in Liverpool's system, and he was the answer, but at the end of the day, he's gone to Real Madrid. We're going to move on, but
him and Camavinga's been great as well.
Yeah, Valverde as well. Supposedly, a couple of months ago, when the window was open, Liverpool was supposedly put a bid in for Valverde. Highly doubt it, because I think it was getting rumours at like 85, 86 million, which is probably quite cheap in comparison, because it would take a lot of money to get him out of Real Madrid. But there we go, Luke. Yeah, of course, Luke. If you're still watching, mate, do your best. Yeah, of course. Your loudest volume as well. I know the neighbours. But yeah, not too bad, Luke. Thank you for dropping in, mate. Hope you are well, lad. Can't wait to see you, mate, in a couple of weeks. LFC Live just posted Henry ready to sell at an extra. Oh, Mark, we've already spoke about social media and don't.
Well, I know they want to get past the 5 billion mark, because I mean that's what Chelsea got sold for, and they want to break a record. They want to be like the sell the club for the highest in history. I'd say, if they're going to sell that.
Yeah, if that is the case, Mark, then happy days. But just clickbaiting, I think. Mate.
Who's going to come in? Cousins of the Manchester City owners and the PSG owners. Yeah. They're all the same families. You know, and then you're just going to have a family of cousins just battling each other all the time, you know, and then selling to each other. And
we'll all put £5 in the pot, really, and try and buy. So
We
now
got
we all
DCI was the other one that was around, wasn't it? But they tried to buy us
Yeah.
like 6 times, but there was something dodgy about them as well.
Yeah, I think
But,
it's everyone that's got multi-billions in the bank, they're all dodgy anyway.
Yeah.
Every business has got money from certain areas that is quite wrongfully amassed in terms of the millions. But Doug's went with his Alisson, Gomez, Canate, Van Dijk, Simicus, Fabinho, Thiago, Jota, Firmino, Salah, and Nunes. Spot on there, Doug. I'll get you on a show this week, Doug, if you are free. Probably better to get you in the evening, isn't it, mate? I'll message you after the show, mate. We'll get a show sorted. We'll head over to the Dugout Football channel as well, my good mate, Doug. Alonso walks in. Oh, Christ, Brian. I hope he does well. I think he got up to a winning start. I think, was it not Leipzig? Leverkusen, is it? Leverkusen. Yeah,
I think he was on about the midfield thing that I was talking about a while ago.
Oh yeah, Alonso.
So he was like, because I corrected myself as well with Mascherano and Xavi would probably get in there as well. So
I think that midfield three would 100% probably
get. Oh yeah,
jump over.
Yeah, it would definitely get in there. Yeah. Over.
That's the thing, knowing it, isn't it? We've always had world-class players, but at the minute, there's this period over the last 4 or 5 years is probably the period where we've actually had world-class players in every position, really.
Yeah.
And the fact that we got Alisson is a big thing as well. There's a streak for Van Dijk over on Sunday. No, Luke. Get out with that negativity, Luke. I'm very tempted to time it out there, Luke. It's not ending, lads. It's going to go for the next 5 years, next 10 years, lad. Not happening. Dreading Sunday. Yeah. When we get to that bridge, boys and girls, we'll get to there. We'll do a pre-match hurdle for the City one. I'm hoping to get a City fan on anyway. It'd be good. City just be gloating about how good they are, and we spend the whole show talking about Haaland. Haaland.
Not going to be.
How you doing, Alan? Oh yeah, no. But how you doing, Alan? Long time no see, mate. Thank you very much for tuning in, mate. Hope you are well. My good mate. No other club in the world with our passion and history. Spot on there, Mark. That's the thing. What an owner is getting. I think with Newcastle and City, Newcastle's got a much bigger history than City. In terms of long-term football and history. And obviously the fan base is massive. Like Newcastle fans are amazing. I know I've got quite a lot of mates, a lot of Geordie mates, so quite a lot. And they're all sound, lovely people. Newcastle's an amazing city. Quite similar in certain aspects with Liverpool.
I think, to be honest, I'll say the same, Jack. I think Cork, Liverpool, and Newcastle are almost the same kind of places.
Quite similar.
To be honest with you. Yeah, very, very similar. Yeah.
Yeah, so amazing. Even CBG airline will be. I'll tell you what, I'm not talking about hairlines there, Brian. Not at all. But yeah, man's woo. That's why I've grown my little quiff. Fev Linders, no thank you. Nagelsmann, yeah, that's the thing. Nagelsmann's probably going to be getting the sack by Bayern anyway. Yeah, what are we going to say there, mate?
No, I was just saying, no, I get it right. Like I was saying, there was either options. He was either going to go for somebody who was a similar German manager, or he was going to do it in house. It was just the only choices that we really have. We can't really go for a Pochettino or somebody who's going to change the whole setup. It's going to have to somebody come in and deal with players that are in this. It's like if we bring in a fresh manager, it's a completely fresh rebuild. Is what you're looking at, because they're not going to be at some of these players. Klopp has a certain way of playing that to get rid of him you're going to have to reinvent the club and reinvent how we play. Really, I don't think it can be continued on by just any manager. So if we were trying to keep it the same, then it was going to be Pep Linders or somebody in house like that. If not, then we're going to bring him in, and it's going to be a complete rebuild over a couple of seasons. Yeah, so that was the point I was making. I wouldn't say like replace with Pep Linders. I'm saying he's probably the only likely choice to keep it in house. That's it.
Yeah, spot on there, mate. Spot on. Lindsay's crazy talk, lazy ambition. No, can say carry on. Yeah, that's the thing. No, it's the thing. I'd agree with Spide anyway, but he's straight Owen as well. But it's the thing. Ancelotti's going to retire soon anyway, so you can't even bring Ancelotti in really in reality, because he'll be getting his bloody pay packet retirement fee very soon. I think
doesn't matter because Klopp is staying for 20 years anyway. So sorry.
Yeah. Klopp's going to retire. We retire in Liverpool. I had to say this manager is not better than the club. I think, and there was a famous, I'll try and get it up in a second, a good quote by Shankly that I always love to look at. There's so many. If there was, I tried to get hold of don't know if you listen to them, Spider, or chat, let us know. There was like a set of tapes that Shankly done, and I think it was like very long time ago that they got released. It was like a collection of tapes really from Shankly.
Okay.
Just
Yeah,
listening to Shankly like talk, it's amazing. Like, I just watching videos of Shankly talk. The way he had a way.
Shankly tapes.
Yeah, I think it was them ones. Yeah, if anyone's not checked them out, if you got a bit of spare time, hands, go and check them out. What would you wear? Spider Miss. The Forgotten Shankly tapes.
The Forgotten Shankly tapes, yeah, that's what it's called. Yeah, you can get them on Amazon. You can get them most places. You can probably listen to them online as well as you watch them online.
So, good Christmas present for yourself, or if you want to drop a few in.
I see. We have a look. It's 7. There was a hardcover there. That's actually it's a hardcover one. That was 73 pence. But I just Forgotten Shankly Magic Words of a Legend. I don't know where you're going to get them, but it's there on the Liverpool Echo showing it as well. But yeah, that's where you get them.
Go on. Yeah, definitely check them out. Few good Kimbo hint for the family and that. Badger's right, life is all about timing. We got our transfers timing badly wrong in the past season, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. Rattle through all these anyway, because I think Spider is going to be starting his gaming soon. I appreciate it.
I will be,
I appreciate it. Amazing.
I'm trying to chat as well.
Yeah, it's just being relaxed. It's very therapeutic. Very therapeutic, really.
Yeah, it is.
Liverpool get everything off our chests.
Yeah.
Liverpool need to go back to basics and smarter in the window, 100%. Russ, we are getting rigid this year, Russ. The whole thing about only getting the number one target can't always work that way, 100%.
Yeah, it's easy right in the rack. Missing him is what cost. Is why Klopp is kind of a bit off this season in his targets.
Yeah, it's easy for Chelsea that there is no FFP to worry about. Took Man City around 5 seasons to challenge 100%. Stop it. I go to the Candyman Islands. Everyone is wearing City shirts. There we go. Roman blew Arsenal and United out of the wars. Yeah. And if you think about it, Russ and Spider, would you say, with the amount of money they spend, they underachieved?
Chelsea, yeah.
At that period.
I know they won a few leagues, but like,
did
they do any back-to-back leagues? I can't remember if they did any back-to-back leagues.
It was was it 05-06 where he won the Prem? And Jose, remember when he was a young manager, he come into the Premier League, he won, and then
he won with Porto in 2004 because we won the Champions League in 2005 when he came in. He was in Chelsea by then. After that, because he gave I remember he gave his medal away to the crowd, didn't he? Before he was.
Robert.
Yeah.
Was that Robert Hoofs? Apparently, it was Robert Hoofs, that one.
The medal, is it? Okay, no.
Yeah, the medal.
I think he took off the medal with Porto, gave it to the fans, and then because he was leaving to go to Chelsea or something. So something like that. I remember that, and but that was 2005. So if he won it 2 years in a row, then maybe. But I think United was still around there because I remember him doing it was for a season. It was between them and
get to that one, Luke.
United. What's that?
I get to Luke's comment. Something about me airline, but
okay. No, but look, they were bouncing. The title was bouncing between them for a couple of seasons. United and Chelsea. You know, I don't think Arsenal didn't. Arsenal last time Arsenal won the league was in 2002, wasn't it? With the Invincible year.
I'll do a quick Google chat. You should be helping us out here, check one. Chelsea.
Just do Premier League winners.
Titles.
You see it there.
I was going to say, because I think they won like 3-4. Chelsea honours.
So you're going back. Oh, here we are now. I'm going way back here.
Right. Premier Leagues. So they won it in 1955.
I know it's 2004, 2005, or 2005 and 2006. You were right there, Jack. So that they won it back to back.
6, yeah.
That's the only back to back that they got. Then they waited another 3, 4. Like they got 3 in a row from 7, 8, and 9, and then Chelsea got it again, then United, and then it was City got the first one in 11-12. So yeah, when they got taken over in 2008, it was nearly 4 seasons before they won a title. United got the last one in 2013, and then it was pretty much bouncing between Manchester City and Chelsea with a Leicester in between and us in between since then.
We listen to Chelsea fans speaking with such chest.
Mm.
They've got 6 Premier Leagues.
Yeah.
Or 6 league titles.
Yeah.
I think Everton got more Premier Leagues than Chelsea or something, or even
more league. They're more league titles.
It's just Christ almighty.
Yeah,
it's just that they speak quite loud in it and just shout at people. Chelsea fans, I've noticed. It's not how you stop Haaland; it's how you stop De Bruyne. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is.
And Haaland unlocked Foden too. He's flying. Yeah, as long as you don't play James Milner, Christ almighty. I'll flashback to that game. We don't speak about that game. Haaland's cousin plays in Norway, and he scored 64 goals. Russ, why have Liverpool not bought him? Someone needs to get hold of that fella. Oh yeah, just Christ. Favorite horror movie?
Scary movie. It's a comedy. But lads, if you go for horrors, anyway, you have to go Japanese. These American horrors will never do you. Yeah. Japanese all the way. Anyway.
But yeah, the youth team, the other team, I think it's losing Edwards. Yeah, 100%, Mark, 100%. I think we all called that when it happens. Not a big Cardiff fan, but I love the Omen 1 and 2 and the Exorcist 2. I would have paid so much money. Well, I'd love if I could go back in a time machine. And I probably didn't have this foreseeing knowledge that I do now of but that time period, Spider and Chat of the Exorcist getting released, people were fighting and they thought it was real.
My mum
thought it was real on telly.
My mum watched Clifford and she was going to bed with nightmares for about 4 months after that movie came up. Yeah, it was nuts. And to think of this, she grew up in Catholic Ireland, which everybody was afraid of a priest. That was what if the priest walked past you down the road, he was looking at you like that. You were running across the road to the other side, It's the priest ran this country, not politicians. That's the way it was for years. Yeah. So yeah, man, anything to do with horror and religion, man, was scared the shit out of you over here.
The power of St. John compels you. There we go.
Yeah,
there we go. But yeah, no, so some great film then. As he said, as Spider said, modern day horrors are rubbish.
Yeah,
so
have to go to Japan. Go to Japan. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, fine. They're just mad, Denmark. They put me off. They put me off rides in a big way. Because as a kid, I used to go on rides. And since I watched them as a kid, I never go on rides now. Because it'd just be my luck that I go on a roller coaster and it just goes flying off. And I'm sat there going, nice one. End up in Birkenhead or somewhere on a bloody fairground.
Amanda Stavely, yeah. I remember that. Yeah. She got knocked back a couple of times when she was working for them. And then I think they came in another 4 times after that. So yeah, they've been hanging around for a long time now.
It's got big sound. Yeah, spot on there. Big up Mark. They're obviously shouting out Jug and obviously the lads channels as well. Appreciate that, Mark. Bring back Rafa to fully send down Everton Football Club. There we go, Luke. Ten Hag after. Oh, that's a joke, everyone from Alan. Sorry, I didn't hear you mentioning Linders. Wasn't calling you lazy, just people online.
Oh, yeah. No. Yeah, I know that, dude.
Christ, there we go. It's the back end of the show. Jack, what would you rather lose your hairline to, being Liverpool manager or your ultimate team when you concede the 90th? It's got to be my ultimate team, mate. It's got to be ultimate team. I've got Mbappe, but I still lose the games on FIFA. No comment there.
Apparently, and I didn't even look at it too much because I haven't gone into it this season. But if you make your do you make the player taller? Is it length? You give him a lengthy.
Oh, lengthy, yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be. That's the new meta now or something. I don't know. Yeah, so that's the way you're supposed to do it. If you can get them, there's a video going around at the moment. If you can get them all lengthy, there's a way to get them lengthy.
Yeah, I'm a sweaty FIFA player. I'll let you know after the stream.
Okay.
If you do the medal onto the number 11 bus and Bob Schnunkel, as well, Jody. Yeah, spot on. 6 league titles. Yes, we will be doing one, Mark. Hopefully, Spider will be available. So if you're doing one on the channel, but it probably will be me
No,
inspired.
I can pop up. I'm gigging straight after it. I'm actually in the city
Sounds.
gigging straight, so I can watch the game get completely changed fast enough to gap. So it'll be shower before the stream, so I look nice and pretty before I'm on stream. You know, so I'll be grand looking.
Yeah. No chance with that, me, mate. It's not unimproved this. Jack, are you doing a watch along? Yeah, we will be doing one, Mark. I'm trying. Just quickly have a look at the kickoff. Pretty sure it's 8 o'clock kickoff tomorrow night, isn't it, Charles? I think it is. Just make sure.
Brian is dead right there. I'll continue that on there as you're talking. My main gripe with Arsenal is all these amazing teams and players, and famously always making the top 4. They never even touch the size in the Champions League. Absolutely allergic to success in Europe. They have, man. They've bottled it in Europe every single time, and they've all, like under Wenger, they were like well known for their top 4 finishes. But I look, Arsenal have started really well in this season, but I still think that they're not ready. I still think it could be one of these seasons, like a couple of seasons ago, where unless us or like a Potter's Chelsea that might start coming into a bit of form are going to catch them. I don't think Arteta is going to keep up. I think a couple of injuries there to Arsenal and they're screwed, to be honest with you. For the rest of the season.
Arteta's no Wenger though.
No, he's not. No.
For me, yeah.
No,
mostly. Oh, hey! I made myself back. I hate watching my videos back. Never do that. When I spot on there, mate. Games more left wing. Don't give us flashbacks. The Nun is a weird film.
Nuns are weird in general.
Yeah.
Small Yoda factors. You know. Nuns freak me out, man. Yeah, they're weird.
Yeah. No, I'm not going to say what was. Jack goes to Teacups and Feathers. Yeah, that's my.
Yeah.
That's my section anyway.
I mean, I've barely watched any of the Final Destination films in years, and I still can't do a bloody what's it called? I can't do any really, man. I can't go on a roller coaster like that. Like I'm a big bitch when it comes to all of that kind of stuff.
Chat. Final question before we do shoot off. Are you a fan of roller coasters? Are you a fan of roller coasters? Me and Spider-Dance.
Nah.
I'm a big shithouse when it comes to roller coasters. But I agree, mate. Arsenal's history in Europe is bad. Their side was such a rich history. I was fuming that he's lost in 06, 07. When Lehman got sent off and bloody Almunia went in goal. Because it was fuming. I remember being a kid watching that.
Yeah.
I've always had a spot for Arsenal.
That was Arsenal's best chance of winning that Champions League as well, wasn't it? Yeah. At that time, like they've a great. Arteta's done well with them this season, and he's gotten them gelled well together and the whole lot. But I still think there's a falling off point for them if they get a couple of injuries. You know, it's just the squad is still not fully there. You know, and getting Zinchenko and Jesus in was a spot of good fortune for them, and getting them both off of City at the same time, which I found strange that City would sell to somewhat just a team that's below them in the rival level that could possibly play catch up. You know, that would sell 2 players like that to the same club. That was a weird one for me. So they must have both really wanted out. But look, it just brings more variety to the league, and I like that. I like seeing more competition. It's great that Arsenal City are
boring when it's just us, mate. Yeah. Like it's just us. It's like
it also gives us. It also gives us more of a chance to win the league. I know we've been losing it just by a point to City, but in games where other teams could have been better, they could have beaten City in those games, and we still could have taken them, or they could have beaten us, and City could have taken them. You know, it just brings more variety to how the season pans out if more teams can beat us and City. You know, in that kind of way, or at least get draws and stuff. You know, so instead of just lower league teams doing it, like, you know, Palace and the likes of, which are not a lower league team much anymore.
Is it and Russ was it Fleb Kleb?
Kleb, yeah.
Fleb, You know what I'm like.
Yeah, it's spelled weird. It's spelled weird.
Yeah, Kleb. Because I think he got subbed off or something, didn't he? Because it was the goalie that got sent. So bit of a mad one. Some, but not the some. But some are crazy. I know a couple of years do live in America, and it's my dream to go to America, but I need to get over my fear. If I do somehow go to America in the next 5-10 years, I need to get over my fear because they are amazing, aren't they? Have you gone on roller coasters?
Oh, right, in America.
Oh, yeah. I'm flying. I'm used to
Yeah,
flying.
no, no, I don't like anything I can't control. If it's a roller coaster I can drive, I'll take it. But if it's one I can't control, that's my problem. You know, I need to be in control. I'm not even a good passenger in a car. Like if somebody's going over, it's like I can be sitting here and I drive a nice.
You're not a backseat driver.
No, I'm not a backseat. Well, I am with the wife, but you know, she loves me, so she has to put up with me. But like,
but when I come down and see you, be like, yeah, go down here.
No, I'm just like I'm so full of myself with my own driving, thinking that I'm a good driver that I immediately don't trust anybody that's driving next to me, and I'm just like, dude, don't you go over the speed. If I see him 20 over the speed limit, like, you're going to kill me, and I don't know why. You could be a good driver, but I just don't trust you. You know what I mean? I'm just like that, man. I'm a whole onto your seat kind of guy. But then when I'm sitting in the car, I'm purely laid back, and I don't even realize how fast I'm going sometimes. You know, so it's yeah, I don't know. I'm just a hypocrite, really.
I think we all are. Don't know what to watch the match tomorrow on tomorrow. Well, Andrew, you're welcome to come round, mate. You're very welcome to come round, mate. I'll message you later anyway, but look after yourself there. And score prediction, Spider. We haven't really done one, but we've had to go with one and check out your score predictions in. Final talking point now.
We need another clean sheet. So I'm going to try and go for 3-0.
3-0. Yeah. I'm going to go 2-0. 2-0, hopefully. We're going to go 2-0. Nunes and Salah. I'm hoping Salah scores.
Yeah.
Seems like bloody forever since Salah scored, doesn't he?
He's just got a penalty, isn't it? He hasn't got he's just scoring penalties. He's none from open play. He needs a goal.
Yeah. Campamerica's good, Andrew, I'd say. Company Cousin's done it as well. I was meant to have done it years ago, but I didn't get around to it. But yeah, definitely do it, Andrew. It's an amazing experience. Get to meet loads of people, new people as well, mates for life as well. But definitely do it, mate. I'd say Brian's going with a 4-1 win. I'm going with a 2-0. Spidey went with 3-0 as well. And but yeah, chat. It's been a long one.
I was close last week. I was close with the Arsenal result, except for it was the opposite way around. They said 3-2 to us. Because I just thought them at home and being on form that they were, it could have gone either way, really, wouldn't it? So yeah, but it's 3-2 the opposite way around. But this has been a long stream, yeah.
Yeah, but Spider's gonna be like, you can tell me what he's gonna do with something after this. But
I would stay doing this, man. What's gaming?
Yeah, no, but most importantly, thank you to every single one of you. If you popped in or if you tuned in after or whatnot, I really do appreciate you there tuning in, every single one of you. And to get to everyone's score predictions as well, Eamon's gone with is 2-1 win to the Reds. Come on, Eamon's. Brian's going with 4-1. Mark's gone with a 3-1. Andrew's gone with a 3-0 Nunes hat-trick. Oh, we'd love that against Arsenal the other day. No one confident for a clean sheet. Spider is. I am kind of. I think I went 2-0.
2-0, 3-0.
As long as we don't concede in the first 39 seconds, that'll be good. But Spider, please do shout out, obviously your channel, mate, and obviously where you.
My channel, which I haven't done much of in the last couple of bloody weeks.
Your channel and obviously your Twitch, where everyone can find you.
It's Spider LFC anyway on YouTube, and I will be getting back to doing a lot of that stuff. Let's how's it going?
Hello.
How are we keeping?
Hello, dear.
Anyway, hello. And hello. What's that? Mrs. Doubtfire, is it? Hello, dear.
Yes.
Oh,
I need to get that clip. Yeah, I need to get that clip for next week.
But okay, yeah. So Spider LFC, as you can see, currently down there somewhere. Is it down here? Yeah, just here. And you'll see me in about 10 minutes over on Irish Spider Guy on Twitch, where I'll be finishing off Alien Isolation, screaming my head off, crying in my pants. Or is it the opposite way around? And yeah, you'll find me there with the lads in chat, and they'll pop over and have a chat while I'm playing. I gotta finish that because it's Madison next, and that's a Japanese horror. So that's when you're going to really see me getting the heebie-jeebies over. But Jack, thanks for having me on again. And yeah, cheers, I appreciate it.
Always a pleasure, mate, as always. And everyone, nice one there, Mark, as well, Ryan. Every single one, as I said, if you are watching on the repeat, if anyone's watching on the repeat and you are 2 hours in, let me know, because you are the real.
If you get to the end and you say what I say next, you get a lollipop the next time you come at the stream. I'll post a lollipop to your house. I swear.
Better be a very expensive lollipop.
A big giant, a big giant one, you know.
Not the Blackpool ones.
Yeah.
Not the Blackpool ones that you can get. But chat, big up everyone. We'll see you later anyway. But it's been an absolute pleasure. Me and Spider hopefully will be live tomorrow. I think we will be. As I said, for the watch along, hopefully we'll see you there. If you don't get your notification, we will be live streaming the game. So hopefully we'll see you. Spider, thank you, mate, and every single one of you. Gentlemen and ladies, have a lovely rest of your night. And yes, as long as the Reds win, happy days. And as I said, but big up there. And he's like there, lad. It's stepping away. But yes, in another night. Oh, hang on. I pressed the wrong button. Right, there we go. Oh, you can tell it's been about 2 hours. Right, I forgot how to bloody end the stream.